What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. Become stronger when I check in at Hokage 1BS Chapter 1, Sign-In System. Advertisement Konoha 59 years, Grove, a 12-year-old black-haired teenager lying curled up on the ground. When I opened my eyes, I saw trees and stones. Where is this? Laugh. As soon as the boy stretched his body, he felt the pain in his body and took a breath. What the hell is going on? Coming to this place inexplicably, the whole body hurts terribly. The boy endured his body pain and sat up with his back against the tree trunk behind him. At this time, an unfamiliar memory poured into his head, and the boy's head was dizzy. 10 minutes later, the dizziness disappeared and the boy recovered his consciousness. Such a weird crossing. Even if it happened, it happened. The boy was very at a loss. Apparently he didn't expect that he would actually travel through it. It turned out that the boy was playing an on-hook fishing game before crossing over, but this time he caught an email. Congratulations to the players for getting into the Naruto World with the mysterious system through fishing. May I ask if you enter? Under the guidance of a ghost, the boy chose to enter, but his eyes went dark and he opened his eyes again and came here. And through the memory fusion just now, the boy also understood some of his own situation. The name of this body is Uchiha Qin Yu, one of the orphans of the Uchiha clan. All his parents and relatives were dead, and they were all killed by Uchiha Itachi, and all that was left to Uchiha Qin Yu was a house and a little savings. And the most important thing is that he often competes with Naruto Uzumaki for the last place in the ninja school. Thinking of this, Qin Yu couldn't help being speechless for a while. But it's said to bring in the mysterious system. What about the system? Uchiha Qin Yu has completely accepted the fact of crossing. But thinking of how my own person came, why the system didn't see it, I was suddenly puzzled. Ding. The sign-in system is being bound. Ding. The sign-in system is successfully bound. The system prompt sounded suddenly, which shocked Qin Yu. Ding. The host can sign in once a day through the sign-in system to get random sign-in rewards. Ding. Excuse me if you sign in. A series of system explanation sounds made Qin Yu understand the operation method of this system. Excitement? Qin Yu was so happy that he quickly opened the first sign-in today. Sign in. Ding. Congratulations to the host for signing in and getting the first version of the fairy body. The cool airflow wandered through his body, and Qin Yu felt that the pain in his body was slowly diminishing. The airflow disappeared after walking around Qin Yu's body. And Qin Yu also recovered from the painful body because of this air current. Hey ha. Feeling his body gradually recovering, Qin Yu couldn't help getting up and stretching. It is worthy of being an immortal human body. The body's self-recovery speed is more than twice as fast as the recovery speed of chakra, and the storage capacity of chakra has increased by nearly 3 times. Feeling the power of the immortal human body, Qin Yu sighed about the power of the immortal human body. Sasuke, wait, let's slowly calculate today's account. It turned out that Qin Yu would lie here today, all for Sasuke. Because Sasuke thought that Qin Yu Uchiha's strength was too weak, he discredited the Uchiha clan and beat himself up to vent his anger. After Qin Yu returned home, after a simple solution to the food and clothing problem, he fell asleep in bed. I didn't get up until the next morning. After getting up in the morning, Qin Yu started to sign in the system before opening his eyes. Ding. Congratulations to the host for signing in and getting the 3 Go Jade Writing Round Eyes. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, Wakaka. Advertisement. Qin Yu's eyes suddenly opened, and the surprise came too suddenly. He hurriedly got up and came to the mirror, and looked at the writing wheel eyes reflected in the mirror. Red eyes and black pupils. Around the pupils, 3 Go eyes surround the pupils in a triangular shape. This is Sanguyu writing round eyes, looks so handsome. After appreciating it for a while, Qin Yu closed the writing wheel. After simply brushing his teeth and washing his face, he took the money and went out. After Qin Yu went out, he headed towards Yile for ramen. Boss, a bowl of pork bone ramen. Qin Yu sat at the Yile ramen table and shouted to the boss. When the boss heard the order, he was busy making ramen and responded, "Okay, wait a minute." After a while, a bowl of steaming ramen was brought to Qin Yu's face. Your tonkatsu ramen. It turned out to be Qin Yu, come here early today. He brought the ramen to the table by hand, only then saw the ramen that Qin Yu had ordered. It's a bit early today, then you eat slowly, and call again if you don't have enough. Okay. Holding up the pork bone ramen in front of him, Qin Yu took a bite before eating it hungrily. It is indeed the famous eel ramen in Hokage, and it is delicious. In this way, after eating 3 bowls of ramen, Qin Yu left contentedly. Ninja school. Qin Yu walked into the classroom as usual, walked to his seat and sat down. Hinata early. Qin Yu-jun, early. Hina raised his head and responded to Qin Yu shyly. Qin Yu was happy to see Hina Tien when he was a child. Hinata was very cute when she was a child, and when she was watching Hokage, she liked Hinata when she was a child. Of course, Qin Yu also likes Hinata when he grows up. After all, when Hinata grew up, she was very good in all aspects of figure and appearance. Qin Yu looked at Hina Tien's current appearance, and felt more cute as he looked at it, and finally couldn't help rubbing her hair with his hands. Woo! Hinata, who had been prone to being shy since he was a child, turned red in the face of Qin Yu's sudden touch of his head. Even so, but did not make any resistance. Qin Yu knew from memory that although this body had a weak personality before, it also had a sense of justice. In an accidental situation when he was a child, he saw Hinata being bullied and stepped forward to save him, thus forming an indissoluble bond. But now this indissoluble bond was inherited by Qin Yu. At this moment, a teenager with a yellow hair and cat-like face walked in from the door of the classroom. Qin Yu, morning. Morning Naruto. After Naruto Uzumaki greeted him, he rushed towards the seat of the backtooth. After that, the two of them played around there. Sasuke is here. It is Sasuke who is here. Sasuke, it's Sasuke-kun. Sasuke is so handsome. Sasuke-kun is the most handsome. Chapter 2, Examination at Ninja School. Advertisement. When the class time came, Aluka walked into the classroom on time. Today's main course is to explain the use of avatar technique. Aruka is an extremely responsible teacher, carefully explaining various skills to the students and trying to make the class more active. And Qin Yu also studied very seriously for 5 minutes, and then drowsy lying on the table to fall asleep. It's not that Qin Yu is willing to sleep, but it's really boring. Ever since he got the 3 Guyu Jade riding round eyes, Qin Yu's understanding of ninjutsu has unexpectedly grown stronger for some reason. Just after listening to Aluka's 5-minute explanation of the clone technique, he was confident enough to be able to perform it. However, after a brief explanation of Aruka, he even spoke in more detail. This is dying. Brother understands how to listen, but the more I listen, the more I want to sleep. As for the avatar technique, Aruka taught 2 lessons, and Qin Yu also slept for 2 lessons. When the get-out of class was over for lunch, Qin Yu took the shy Hinata and went to Yile Ramen for lunch. After lunch, they both returned to the classroom. Yu Uchiha's shame, yesterday's lesson, I didn't expect it to be restored. Just as Hinata and Qin Yu sat down, Sasuke just passed by Qin Yu and stopped for a while. Qin Yu smiled and said, Sasuke, I will ask you to settle the bill sooner or later, you wait. By you? Idiot, talk about dreams. Sasuke sneered and left coldly. The afternoon class was about the division of forces in the shinobi world, and Qin Yu listened carefully. After all, it will be a matter of time before becoming a ninja. Once you become a ninja, missions are commonplace. A clear understanding of the division of forces in this world can help oneself accomplish tasks better in the future. In this way, one day passed. From this day on, Qin Yu's daily life began to have purpose. First sign in by the system, and then go to school. Occasionally it is a gathering of classmates. Day after day, a month passed. Today is the graduation exam. The exam is divided into 2 sessions, the morning knowledge assessment and the afternoon ninjutsu assessment. I'll hand out the test papers in a while. Everyone pays attention to answer the questions carefully. As an exam invigilator, Aluka warned the students in the class very seriously. After that, the test papers were given to the classmates at the head table, and asked to pass them to the classmates behind them, one by one. Qin Yu took the test paper and looked at the questions on it, a headache for a while. Although he has lectures in class, all he listens to is about the humanities world. The content of the exam in this paper is about the humanities world. Only seeing the first question, Qin Yu felt cold all over. Question. The formation of chakra. What's the problem? Why would you ask such a question? Qin Yu really don't understand. I can condense chakras, so why'd I need to answer the painful question of how to form chakras? But it's an exam, so I can only bear it. Just about to start writing, I suddenly remembered that today, because of the ninja exam, I went out early in the morning, and I didn't have time to sign in. Just sign in silently before talking. Ding. Congratulations to the host for signing in and getting the Encyclopedia of Ninja World. A series of questions came to mind. Encyclopedia of Ninja World? What the hell is this? The system rewards arrived in an instant, and everything about the ninja world suddenly appeared in his mind. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Sweeping the test paper in front of him, Qin Yu suddenly felt that the questions were so easy. Advertisement. There is a feeling that a postdoctoral fellow is doing homework for the first grade of elementary school. This system is really timely. Rain. What is missing? Give me a thumbs up. Qin Yu's pen in his hand seemed to come to life with a series of Swiss answers. After a while, the standard answers have been written. After confidently handing in the test papers, I began to look forward to the afternoon martial arts exam. In the afternoon, ninjutsu training playground. Okay, now the ninjutsu test begins. Please come forward and perform the best ninjutsu. Aluka took the notepad and stood aside. Inazuka Toa. 2. A teenager holding a small dog stood up. Akamaru, dog clone. With a knot in the hand, Akamaru's, bang, became another Inazuka tooth. After that, one by one began to step forward to perform their most proud ninjutsu. When it's Uchiha Sasuke's turn, just like in the original book, it's a fireball trick. After that, someone stepped forward to perform ninjutsu. By the time Naruto Uzumaki was read, everyone had already performed their ninjutsu, and only Qin Yu had not yet been read. And Naruto Uzumaki, just like the original, stepped forward to perform a multi-shadow avatar. Uchiha Qin Yu. Coming. Qin Yu felt a little excited when he finally read to himself. After all, the time to pretend to be forced has finally come, and it is still in full view. Can you not be excited? Art Fire Escape Ho Fireball. With a boom, a fireball capable of reaching B-level ninjutsu hit the wooden stake in front of him. The huge fireball burst and ignited the surrounding wooden stakes. The ground turned into a scorched black. Just kidding. This giant fireball is more than twice as powerful as Sasuke's just now. Is this still the Uchiha Qin Yu from the bottom of the class? Such surprised voices sounded one after another in the crowd. No one would believe what was happening in front of them. The person who was supposed to be at the bottom suddenly became so powerful. This is so dreamy. Not only everyone didn't believe it, but even Iruka on the side was taken aback. He knew Qin Yu's strength best, but he didn't expect this shot today to really shock him. And the only person who could not believe this fact was Uchiha Sasuke. In his impression, Qin Yu has always been Uchiha's shame. Not only the strength is poor, but also very cowardly. When he beat him by himself a month ago, he wouldn't even fight back. How come the time has changed so much this month? Not only the character has become different from before, but the ninjutsu strength has also become stronger. This single hand of fire escape from the fireball is twice as powerful as his own. Impossible. This ninjutsu is definitely not something Qin Yu can perform. Among them, Sasuke alone absolutely did not believe that Qin Yu could perform this kind of ninjutsu. Teacher Iruka, I request a fight between ninjas with Qin Yu Uchiha. I will let everyone know clearly that the arrogant fireball that Qin Yu just displayed must be displayed through cheating. Sasuke's voice resounded throughout the playground, and everyone looked at Sasuke. Regarding what Sasuke said, everyone's hearts were faintly inclined to believe. Uchiha Qin Yu, what's your opinion? Chapter 3. I have that too. Advertisement. Although Iruka was an invigilator, he had no right to directly ask Qin Yu to fight a ninja, so he could only ask about it. Okay. I just want to poke Sasuke too. Suddenly a lingering smile appeared on Qin Yu's face. On the playground, all the students are standing outside the playground. Iruka stood in the playground as a referee. Qin Yu and Sasuke split into two sides, facing each other. Today, it's time to settle the accounts. The corner of Qin Yu's mouth was slightly tilted, and he confidently said to Sasuke. It has been a month since Qin Yu got the sign-in system. During this month, Qin Yu was rewarded by signing in through the system. Not only got a lot of ninjutsu, but also strengthened the fairy body. Ninjutsu's strength has been greatly improved, and the physique is also strengthened due to the strengthening of the fairy body. If you really want to gauge Qin Yu's strength, he can now endure it properly. Qin Yu, who has the strength of Zhang Ren, would still take Sasuke, who was just about to graduate, in his eyes. Obviously, of course not. Sasuke grinned, hummed disdainfully, and said, it's up to you. After speaking, Sasuke took the lead and rushed towards Qin Yu holding Kuwu. Seeing Sasuke approaching him gradually, Qin Yu didn't worry. Full of confidence, he just took advantage of the situation and set up kunai, ready to meet Sasuke's impact. With a clang, sparks splashed everywhere. Sasuke and Qin Yu's kunai smashed together firmly. Sasuke, who rushed with inertia, wanted to knock Qin Yu over in one fell swoop. But the unexpected happened. Qin Yu unexpectedly accepted Sasuke's attack, and he hadn't even retreated. This scene shocked the students outside the playground. It also surprised Iruka as a referee. When Qin Yu took the blow, Sasuke's pupils suddenly shrank. This is your strength? Qin Yu looked at Sasuke in front of him and asked mockingly. FK off, jumping backwards, Kawuudi is on his waist. His hands quickly formed seals, and his mouth burst out suddenly. Art Fire Escape Ho Fireball. The skill of the powerful fireball is worthy of Uchiha's best ninjutsu, and Sasuke unexpectedly released it in an instant. A fireball the size of a watermelon rushed towards Qin Yu. Boom! The fireball hit Qin Yu, and Qin Yu suddenly dispersed into a cloud of smoke. Clone technique. Iruka looked at the scene in amazement, and was also very curious about when Qin Yu performed the clone technique. You can also be called How Fireball? With a bang, Qin Yu was already standing not far behind Sasuke. Let you personally experience and appreciate what is the real fireball. Qin Yu flew with both hands and completed the seal in an instant. This speed is so fast. This was the thought that Iruka had after seeing the speed of Qin Yu's seal. Art Fire Escape Ho Fireball. His mouth spit out, and a fireball about half a meter in diameter spouted towards Sasuke. The hot fireball scorched the air and made a faint sound. Seeing the giant fireball flying towards him, Sasuke's pupils suddenly tightened. With a sharp bite of his teeth, it seemed that a decision had been made. Iruka felt bad when Qin Yu fired a fireball. This powerful fireball could not be blocked by Sasuke at all. Just when he was about to take a shot against the How fireball, he realized that it was too late. Boom! There was a roar and cracks, and a large amount of smoke and white mist emerged from the place where the fireball hit. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Whoosh. Advertisement. An embarrassed figure was wrapped in white mist and rushed out of the fireball's attack range. When the white mist dissipated, it turned out to be Sasuke. Seeing that Sasuke is okay, Iruka feels relieved a lot. Just about to step forward to interrupt the contest between the two, he was suddenly stunned. This is right round eyes. Iruka looked at Sasuke's eyes in shock. Red eyes, black pupils, and a black gold jade around the pupils. Today I will let you see, also as Uchiha, how big the gap between you and me is. Although Sasuke was embarrassed, he was extremely confident now. Nothing else, just because of his writing wheel, naive. Qin Yu shook his head and smiled. Borrowing a sentence that Sasuke had said to him before, he responded, "It's up to you." Upon hearing this, Sasuke was furious. Open a storage scroll and take out dozens of kunai. Jingle bells. Dozens of kuwu flew out one after another, and after colliding with each other in the air, they all shot towards Qin Yu with precision. Facing the kunai who had come before him, Qin Yu was not afraid at all. Holding the kunai as waving it head-on, accurately knocking the kunai down. But when Qin Yu was resisting kuwu in the air, Sasuke had already come behind Qin Yu. Fire escape how to burst fireballs. Sasuke's strength has been improved with the blessing of Shaolin Yan. In an instant, 3 powerful fireballs were sent out behind Qin Yu. Water escape water prison. Qin Yu, who had just shot down all kuwu, felt the crisis behind him, and immediately was a water escape defensive ninjutsu. A protective cover formed by water flow was instantly formed, covering Qin Yu in the protective cover. Laugh. There is no explosion, some only the sound of ablation. Water is the nemesis of fire. As soon as the fireball touched the water cell, it began to be annihilated by the water in the water cell. How can it be? Seeing Qin Yu who was safe and sound in the water prison, Sasuke was extremely shocked. It's impossible, you can still escape. I have opened the writing wheel, I am the strongest, you are just a crane tail, Uchiha's shame. Sasuke became more and more excited, and finally turned a little crazy. Art fire escape ho fireball. With all the chakras concentrated, Sasuke gave his full blow. The huge fireball dashed towards Qin Yu. At the same time, dozens of kuwu rushed towards Qin Yu with Hao fireball. With a light smile, he dissipated from the water prison ninjutsu. Seeing Qin Yu's posture, Sasuke was even more furious. Although chakra is gone, he still has physical strength. The kuwu in his hand was thrown out one after another, and he attacked Qin Yu. Okay. The game should be over. As soon as Qin Yu finished speaking, Sasuke felt a little uneasy in his heart for some reason. Afterwards, Sasuke looked at Qin Yu, completely stunned. Even Aluka on the side and the students outside the playground were all dumbfounded. Qin Yu's eyes changed, and turned into a writing wheel. Red eyes, black pupils, and 3 Guyu jade around the pupils. Sanguyu writes round eyes. Shaolin is not only owned by you, I have it too. No, Sasuke, run away. Aluka saw that Qin Yu was wearing complicated handprints, and it was obvious that he wanted to use stronger ninjutsu. Although Sasuke was reminded, Aluka was still worried, and ran towards Sasuke in a hurry. Fire escape Halonghuo. Chapter 4. The strength of Uchiha Qin Yu. Advertisement. The scorching fire dragon screamed up to the sky, the dragon head dropped, and Sasuke flew away when he saw it. At this time, Sasuke was completely sluggish, and there was no reaction at all. Facing Qin Yu's attack and Aluka's warning, he was completely indifferent. Boom. In a moment of life and death, when the fire dragon was about to hit Sasuke, Aluka had already pulled Sasuke to escape. At this time, the dragon head that had swooped down and raised up to the sky, and flew up toward the sky diagonally. Boom. After the fire dragon flew into the sky, it exploded. The scorching flame rolled in the sky, forming a huge fireball. The air became fiery as the flame burned. Aluka looked at the fireball in the sky, her eyes full of shock. Qin Yu's strength is so strong. Seeing that he is at ease, it is clear that he still has plenty of energy. With this speculation, could it be that Qin Yu's strength was already close to Zhang Ren? Thinking of this, Aluka was even more shocked and curious about Qin Yu. He really couldn't figure out how the student who was always at the bottom had suddenly become so outstanding. Not only will he perform advanced ninjutsu, but he is also very accurate in his mastery of ninjutsu and chakra. It's unbelievable. Whoosh, whoosh, what happened just now? 2 Konoha ninjas wearing catface masks suddenly appeared in the playground. Looking at the messy playground and the aftermath of the flames in the sky, it is obviously a trace of the battle. Nothing, it was just a ninjutsu exercise just now. Aluka watched the ninja of Anbu appear, and stepped forward to explain. After the 2 Anbu ninjas learned about the situation with Aruka, they left. Seeing the Anbi ninja leave, Aluka turned around and looked at Qin Yu. After calling the students from outside the playground into the playground, he announced the ending to everyone. Qin Yu Uchiha versus Sasuke Uchiha. Qin Yu Uchiha wins. There was no objection to Aruka's speech. They were the audience just now, and they could see everything clearly. Now they are still in shock, and they haven't recovered yet. As for Sasuke on the side, when Aluka announced the result, he had already recovered. After clenching his fists and looking at Qin Yu with a gloomy face, he quietly left. He really couldn't accept this fact, even more unacceptable as a loser. Okay, today's exam is over. There will be a day off tomorrow. The day after tomorrow everyone will come to the school and the teachers to receive the ninja allowance. At the same time, the school will also make class assignments for everyone. Okay, let's all go away. As soon as Aruka finished speaking, everyone on the playground dispersed. Either alone or left in groups. Originally, Aluka, who wanted to stop Qin Yu, saw that Qin Yu had already left with a few classmates, so she shook her head and didn't call him. Qin Yu, I didn't expect you to be so good. Naruto hooked Qin Yu's shoulders, looking like a good brother. I didn't expect you, who usually counts down, to hide so deeply. Kai Wan followed Ya, and Ya followed Qin Yu. Unexpectedly, except for me, Qin Yu, you would be so strong. Naruto praised shamelessly. Qin Yu did not respond, but his face twitched slightly. Come on, Naruto, if you have a tenth of Qin Yu's strength, it's not bad, you're bragging. Ya looked down on Naruto. Where are you going? As soon as he disbanded, Naruto and Ya hooked and left. As for where to go, Qin Yu still doesn't know. Go. Celebrate. Hinata, who followed behind him, answered Qin Yu shyly. Yes, that's right, to celebrate Qin Yu's defeat of Sasuke today, let's go to the barbecue queue to celebrate. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Ya said with a look of excitement. Akamaru behind him also yelled twice. Advertisement. Hurry up, or there will be no place in a while. Naruto urged everyone to speed up together. As soon as he walked into the barbecue queue, Naruto looked around. There is no place. Seeing that the tables were full, Naruto, who had no seats, became frustrated for a while. Unexpectedly, there are so many people today, there is no place. Ya did not expect that there were so many people today, and the seats were full. Huh? Isn't that Denji, Ino, Shikamaru? Suddenly, Naruto noticed that there was a table with old acquaintances. You want to rub the table? Qin Yu thought of Naruto's thoughts instantly. As expected of Qin Yu, I thought of what I was going to do. Naruto laughed. Qin Yu and Ya were speechless for a while. Shikamaru, can you squeeze a table together? Naruto took Qin Yu, Ya and Hinata and walked in front of Juludi. It's Naruto. Shikamaru looked at Naruto and responded. Qin Yu, Ya, and Hinata are here too. Looking at the three people behind Naruto, Shikamaru also said hello one by one. Sit down, just don't grab meat with me. Ding Si waved his hand, indifferent. Shikamaru shook his head helplessly. Ino was eating barbecue in silence, and at the same time secretly staring at Qin Yu. Obviously she was very curious about Qin Yu's performance today. In this way, a barbecue feast began. After eating, everyone began to become active. When they left after eating, the feelings among the people deepened a lot. Naruto office. Hokage-sama, today, the third generation of Naruto Sarutobi was smoking a cigarette while listening to Iluka's report. You said that both Sasuke and Qin Yu have opened the writing wheel eyes, and Qin Yu's writing wheel eyes have reached the level of 3 Guyu. Sarutobi hit the pipe, got up and looked out the window behind him. Yes, it is. Iluka replied with certainty. Sarutobi Risen was silent for a while, and then said, Okay, I understand the situation, you go back first. Yes, Master Naruto. After Iluka left, Sarutobi Hizen looked out the window with a slightly unexpected look. Uchiha Sasuke's home. Why? I am the genius of the Uchiha clan. I will never lose to you this cranetail, I will never. Qin Yu, you wait for me. There was a mess in the room, and it was obvious that Sasuke was venting his inner anger just now. When Uchiha Qin Yu returned home, it was already 12 o'clock. Seeing that a day had passed, Qin Yu couldn't help but sign in first. After all, the system was rewarded for signing in every day. Qin Yu started to sign in with a sense of expectation. System. Sign in. Ding. Congratulations to the host for signing in and getting the eternal power pill. Qin Yu was stunned for a moment, then the corners of his mouth twitched involuntarily. Hearing the 3 words Daliwan, Qin Yu was already a little bit painful, and no longer looked at the difference in the effects of Daliwan. He went to bed and rested. Chapter 5. Class 7 Advertisement Ninja School. In the classroom, the classmates had arrived early in the morning. Today, the ninja guards will be granted and the team will be assigned. Once the ninja's protection is granted, they are official ninjas and can start their missions. Thinking of this, some people's faces were filled with excitement. Of course, there are also people in large families who look at this matter very often, and they don't seem too excited. And this is like Shikamaru, Dingji, Ino and others. At this moment, Iluka walked into the classroom. Today he came into the classroom earlier than usual. Iluka looked at the classmates with a smile, and said, Okay, I'm now announcing the classification situation, you all pay attention. Iluka took a list of people assigned to the class, and began to read as written on the list. Class 1. Qin Yu Kawasaki, Yamanaka Ichiro, Kakusho, led by teacher Sakiki. Class 3. Li Luke, Tianshin, and Hyuga Ningsei, led by Mr. Kai. Class 7. Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura, Uchiha Qin Yu, led by teacher Kakashi. Qin Yu, who was sitting in the seat, was originally boring, but when he heard that he had been assigned to the 7th shift, he was a little confused. Not only Qin Yu was stunned, but Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto were all stunned together. What's going on? Qin Yu himself will be assigned to the 7th class, which is obviously something wrong. After all, the distribution of classes is evenly distributed based on grades. Qin Yu thought to himself, he should be top-notch in either the essay test or the martial arts test. Since they are all top-notch grades, they are unlikely to be placed in the 7th class. Although Qin Yu looks down on Sasuke, he has to say that his literary and martial arts tests are also top-notch. Since he is in the 7th class, it is even more impossible for him, Qin Yu, to stay in the 7th class. Teacher. How did Qin Yu and Sasuke get together? Wouldn't it be too unfair? Isn't it said that the distribution of classes is based on the level of grades and the average grade? And in this case, there will be one more person in the 7th class, so the task will be more complete, and it is even more unfair to other teams. A student who didn't know his name suddenly protested, obviously dissatisfied with the staffing of Class 7. This kind of distribution not only makes the 7th class one more person, but one more person is still good. The classmates in the audience also looked at each other, some of them communicated quietly. Aluka frowned as she watched the classmates communicate in a low voice. Obviously he also knows that such a class assignment will definitely be questioned by his classmates, and at the same time say it is unfair. Aluka coughed slightly, and said, "This was assigned by Master Naruto himself, and I am not very clear about the specific reason." Upon hearing that it was Hokage Sarutobi's decision, the dissatisfied classmates suddenly became silent. Obviously, they felt that it was unfair, but since it was the distribution made by Sarutobi Hitoshi who was Hokage, they did not dare to openly oppose it. Hearing Aluka said that Sarutobi had made the decision, Qin Yu also understood in his heart. It turned out that all of this was the arrangement of Sarutobi Hizen as Hokage, no wonder it was like this. Aluka looked at the classmate who had calmed down, and continued. Okay, the class assignment continues. Class 8. Class 8 Inazukaga, Yuki Shino, Hyuga Hinata, led by Yurihong. Class 10. Nara Shikamaru, Akuma Denji, Yamanaka Ino, led by Asma Teacher. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The above is the class assignment of each student, and your ninja guards will also be awarded by your leading teacher. Advertisement. After the class assignment was announced, Aluka left directly. I won't see you every day from now on, Hinata. Qin Yu has liked this feeling since he first touched and killed Hina Tien. After that, he would often touch Hinata's head until now. No, it's okay, in the future you can come to me directly. Feeling the warm palms on his head, Hinata lowered his head shyly as always. Although it is not the first time that Qin Yu has touched his head like this, Hinata still cannot avoid the habit of being shy. Seeing Hinata's shy look, Qin Yu smiled and said, okay, I'll go to you often in the future. By the way, Hinata, is your only daughter in your family? No, I also have a younger sister, her name is Huo. Oh, I haven't heard you mention it, you can take her out if you have a chance, and everyone will get to know each other. Good, good. When Qin Yu said this, there was a feeling of conspiracy on his face. Obviously, his words are not so simple as this simple idea. Hina Tien was shyly lowering his head and did not see the expression on Qin Yu's face. However, even if she saw it, as far as she was concerned, she couldn't see Qin Yu's thoughts at all. After reluctantly separating from Hina Tien, Qin Yu went home first, and was not in a hurry to find the teacher who led the team. As for the reason, he knew that Hagi Kakashi was a late king, and he passed so early, so he must have been waiting there for nothing. Instead of waiting for him when he is full, it is better to go home and rest first. It's the same when the time is almost gone. The 7th class meeting place. Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, and Naruto Uzumaki have come here to wait for Kakashi since they left the ninja school. This time, half a day passed, but Kakashi's figure was not seen. Even Uchiha Qin Yu did not see him. Sasuke, what are you doing? Seeing Sasuke with a gloomy face, turning around and walking back, Naruto stepped forward and stopped him. Get out of the way, I want to go back, don't worry, it may be the test of Teacher Kakashi, to test our determination and patience to become ninjas, just wait. Yeah, Sasuke, I've been waiting for so long, so I'm not in a hurry. And what Naruto said is not unreasonable. In order to keep Sasuke, Haruno Sakura took the opportunity to encourage Naruto to make sense. Sasuke changed his mind and thought it was possible, so he stayed temporarily. After 10 minutes, a figure suddenly appeared on a tree. It's late. Kakashi, wearing a half-face mask, looked at only 3 people below, and said to himself, isn't there 4 people? Why are there only 3 people? Forget it, go down and ask. I closed the intimate heaven in my hand and jumped off the tree. Who are you? Seeing Kakashi who suddenly jumped from the tree, Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura were all confused and alert. Don't get excited, I am your leader teacher, Hagi Kakashi. Chapter 6. If I do it, you will have no chance advertisement. Oh, so you are our leader teacher Kakashi? Naruto laughed and walked to Kakashi, and said, Kakashi-sensei, did you go to the bathroom? Why did you come so late? When Kakashi heard the words, his face under the mask was full of embarrassment. He can't tell his players that he has forgotten the time because of watching the intimate heaven. That would be shameful, and he can't say it. Seeing that Naruto had figured out an excuse for herself, Kakashi had no choice but to say, yeah. Teacher, are you sure you have been in the bathroom for a long time? Haruno Sakura frowned and looked at Kakashi. She always felt that things shouldn't be that simple. Kakashi's face was taken aback, and the corners of his mouth twitched slightly. At this time, Sasuke walked up to Kakashi, stretched out his palm, and said, Ninja protects the forehead. Kakashi laughed and said, you guys don't seem to be here yet, wait until you are all together and pose together. Oh, you mean Qin Yu, I don't know why, he hasn't arrived yet, I don't know why he went. Naruto put his hands behind his head and said to himself. Kakashi sighed softly when Naruto said this. Kakashi didn't expect that when the team gathered on the first day of today, such a thing would happen. In fact, he didn't want to think about it, mainly because he always loved being late, and that's why Qin Yu hadn't arrived yet. Of course, this Kakashi is not clear. In Kakashi now, all he has in his head is that he needs to bring more problematic teenagers and worry about it. At this time, Qin Yu appeared. Oh, you are all here, it looks like I'm here just right. Qin Yu walked towards the crowd and ate the potato chips in his hand. Naruto Uzumaki looked at Qin Yu, who appeared suddenly, frowned and looked at Kakashi, then looked at Qin Yu and asked, "You won't make an appointment before?" Kozakura also looked at the two of them, her face full of suspicion. Sasuke looked at the air coldly, as if Qin Yu didn't exist. Kakashi laughed awkwardly and said, "Naruto, you will be joking. I didn't know you before I came, so how can I make an appointment with one of you?" "Okay, I won't say more nonsense. First of all, you are welcome to join Class 7 and become a member of Class 7. This is your ninja guard, from now on you are Konoha's official ninja." The right hand took out 4 ninja guards from the ninja bag and threw it towards the 4 people in front of him. After Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke took care of the forehead, they took them directly on their heads. As for Qin Yu, he pinned his forehead to his waist. Qin Yu, the forehead protection is always on the head. Naruto Uzumaki looked at Qin Yu's unique way of wearing it in doubt, thinking that he didn't know how to wear the forehead, so he spoke to him. Qin Yu rolled his eyes and glanced at Naruto, and said, "Of course I know, but I think it would be more handsome and beautiful." Everyone was stunned when they heard the words. After that, there was speechless. Even Sasuke and Kakashi, who usually loved to pretend, twitched the corners of their lips secretly. Obviously, they were also shocked by Qin Yu's reason. Looking at the time of this moment, everyone went wrong, and Kakashi hurriedly pulled everyone back to the subject. "Well, now that the hair care is over, I will talk about the daily lessons of the class. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. After Kakashi glanced at the crowd, the corners of his mouth under the mask slightly cocked. Advertisement. My name is Hama Kakashi, and I am your teacher in charge. Today is the first day of class concentration. I will also arrange today's course content by the way." Kakashi took out 3 bells from the ninja bag, tied the bells around his waist, and said, "I have 3 bells here. Your task today is to take these 3 bells from me. As for the methods of snatching, there are no restrictions. You have to be determined to kill me before you can snatch the bell." "What if you can't take it away?" Naruto asked, looking at the bell on Kakashi's waist. "Then you will lose the opportunity to have lunch and dinner, and you will be tied to a wooden stake behind me to watch me eat lunch and dinner." "What?" Naruto and Sakura exclaimed almost at the same time. Obviously they didn't expect Kakashi to do this. Sasuke stared at the bell closely, his eyes full of seriousness. "Then let's start." After Kakashi finished speaking, he stood there, looking at the intimate paradise in his hand, and ignored the 4 people in front of him. It seemed that the 4 people in front of him could not pose any threat to himself. "Everyone, let's go together." Naruto rushed forward, and Sakura and Sasuke followed suit. As for Qin Yu, he stared at the 3 and Kakashi in place. Qin Yu clearly knew Kakashi's strength. How could Kakashi, who is a shinobu, be so easily taken away by the Naruto trio? Unless Kakashi deliberately exposed the flaws to the 3 of them, they would have the opportunity to snatch the bell from Kakashi's body. With a bang, Kakashi turned into a cloud of white smoke and dispersed, while Naruto rolled through the white smoke twice and lay on the ground. "Over there!" Sakura exclaimed, and everyone's eyes followed the direction Sakura was pointing. With a series of sounds of chang chang chang, Sasuke's shurikens have flown out a dozen plums. The shuriken hit the figure of Kakashi, and with a bang, it was another clone. In this way, the 3 of them struggled for nearly 20 minutes, and finally panted loudly, almost unable to stand up. "Qin Yu, why didn't you come up together to help just now?" Naruto sat on the ground and couldn't help but wonder when Qin Yu hadn't come to help with him just now. "It's all in the same class. Everyone is busy grabbing bells, wouldn't you help?" Xiao Ying frowned and said loudly towards Qin Yu. Qin Yu cast a glance at Sakura with disdain, and stretched her body. Kakashi was in the tree at this time, although he was still watching the intimate heaven. But when Qin Yu stretched his body, the attention in his eyes shifted to Qin Yu. "I'm giving you a chance. If I do it, you will have no chance." Kozakura snorted and said that he was arrogant. Obviously he didn't believe what Qin Yu said. Naruto opened his mouth and scratched his head with his hands. Kakashi in the tree smiled lightly when he heard Qin Yu's confident declaration. Interesting, it seems that Qin Yu Uchiha's strength should be good, otherwise he wouldn't be so arrogant. "Hakiki Kakashi, let me come and teach you next." Qin Yu's eyes suddenly changed. Sangryu's writing wheel eyes had been opened, and his aura suddenly rose. Chapter 7. Rasengan Advertisement. That's Sangryu's writing round eyes. Kakashi's eyes shook when he saw the 3 Guyu writing round eyes in Qin Yu's eyes. He closed the intimate heaven in his hand with a pop, and his body became vigilant subconsciously. Kakashi knew Sangryu's ability to write round eyes. Because he himself has Sangryu's writing round eyes, and even more so with the help of writing round eyes, he shines in the battle of the ninja world. Therefore, Kakashi's name has a title in the ninja world, Copy Ninja Kakashi. But now that Qin Yu's eyes had opened the 3 Guyu writing round eyes, Kakashi was not shocked that it was fake. After Qin Yu's riding wheel opened, his figure moved and his whole body rushed out. Art Fire Escape Ho Fireball. Qin Yu's direct action is ninjutsu. The huge fireball spurted out and flew towards the big tree where Kakashi was standing. Bang! The fireball hit the tree, and the tree fell down instantly, and the raging flames burned even more. With a swish, Kakashi leapt out of the flames. It seems you really can't underestimate you. Kakashi hasn't finished speaking yet, another fireball is oncoming. Kakashi stepped back quickly put the intimacy heaven into the ninja bag, and quickly knotted his hands. Water Escape Waterfront Wall. When the fireball was about to hit Kakashi, Kakashi gave a soft drink, and a wall of water suddenly appeared from bottom to top, blocking the water ball. Qin Yu saw that Kakashi easily blocked his attack with water, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly. In that case, I won't be polite to you, Kakashi. Fire Escape Shuanghao Dragonfire. Qin Yu flew with both hands, his mouth spit, and the two fire dragons flew out immediately. As soon as the fire dragon came out, the air immediately heated up. Kakashi looked at the two fire dragons, the corners of his mouth under the mask suddenly twitched, and said, B-level ninjutsu. The fire dragon took off, flying towards Kakashi from left to right. Kakashi hurriedly removed the water escape, and his stature flew back. Qin Yu quickly approached, controlling the two-day fire dragon to cooperate with each other, and instantly encircled Kakashi. Prickly. Suddenly, silver lights appeared on Kakashi's body. Lei Dun Chidori. The silver light was released. Kakashi turned into a thunderlight, blinked through one of the fire dragons, and ran out. Art Fire Escape Ho Fireball. After Kakashi ran out, a giant fireball came towards Qin Yu in an instant. Qin Yu withdrew the Shuanghao Dragon Fire, and dodged the Hao Fireball. After avoiding the fireball, Qin Yu did not continue to attack, but stood still and looked at Kakashi in front. Kakashi, I'm going to be serious next, are you ready? Seeing the joking Qin Yu, Kakashi was taken aback. It was obvious that Qin Yu hadn't been fighting seriously just now. A crisis quietly permeated Kakashi, and he had to take it seriously. It seems that I can't be serious if I'm not serious. The index finger of the right hand is sticking to the forehead that covers the eyes, and gently pushes up on the head. A red 3-go jade riding wheel suddenly appeared. How come? How can Kakashi have my Uchiha's 3-go jade round eyes? Sasuke looked at Kakashi in shock and exclaimed. This Qin Yu is too strong. Naruto Uzumaki looked at the chaotic surroundings, flames burning and scorched earth everywhere. As for Sakura, she was completely stunned. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Are you finally willing to get serious? Then let me see, Kakashi, how is your strength? Advertisement. When Qin Yu saw Kakashi's riding round eyes, he also knew that he had begun to take it seriously. Now they are no longer for the so-called grabbing bells. Now they just want to see the strength of each other. Qin Yu was trying to see what his current strength had reached. But Kakashi was to test it out to see what Qin Yu's strength had reached. He had already received Hokage's confession before, asking him to pay more attention to Qin Yu, and especially told him that Qin Yu should have the strength of Zhang Ren. At the very beginning, he was reluctant to hold the palm of his hand. But after the simple test just now, Kakashi had already believed it, and believed that Qin Yu had the strength of Zhang Ren. Even the strength has directly approached the level of special upper ninja. Fire Escape the Dragon Fire Bullets. Qin Yu moved, and when he made his move, he used a big move of Fire Escape. Fireballs twice as large as how fireballs were fired continuously, and 5 fireballs were fired one after another. Kakashi looked at the 5 huge fireballs that appeared one after another, and the pupils in his eyes suddenly tightened. Water Escape Waterfront Wall. Tuden, Tulyubi. Kakashi was not slow either. The fast knots of his hands formed 2 defensive ninjutsu one after another. The water wall formed by the water flow is in front, and the soil wall formed by the rock and soil is behind, instantly forming the water and soil defense wall. Bang! Laugh! The fireball hit the defensive water wall one after another. The first fireball that was the first to bear the brunt was mostly evaporated by the water on the water wall. The second fireball had already arrived, followed by the third, fourth, and fifth fireballs. Boom! The water wall turned into steam, and the fireball hit the earth wall. The earth wall was hit by 4.5 fireballs, and there was a big explosion in an instant. All of a sudden, rubble flew all over the sky, and smoke and dust filled the sky. With a swish, a breaking wind sounded behind him. A Kuwu appeared behind him, flying towards him. As soon as Qin Yu's eyes moved, he clearly saw Kuwu's flight path and dodged his body. Whoosh! Then, as soon as he escaped from a Kuwu Qin Yu, he saw Kuwu Wu of a dozen plums surrounding him. With a series of chang 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 blows, Qin Yu took out a handful of Kuwu and shot down all the flying Kuwu. At this moment, Kakashi suddenly appeared beside Qin Yu. When the sharp kunai was about to hit Qin Yu's back, Qin Yu stepped on his legs and flew into the air. Qin Yu, you miscalculated. Qin Yu's ear thought of Kakashi's voice, and a kunai had reached his back. With a bang, Qin Yu in the air turned into a cloud of white smoke. Not good. Seeing Qin Yu who had turned into white smoke, Kakashi knew for a moment that it was wrong, and quickly pulled away and left. It seems you miscalculated. In front of Kakashi's eyes, on an open palm, a high-speed spinning ball of light formed from nothing. Spiral pill. With a soft drink, Qin Yu grabbed the spiral pill and pressed it towards Kakashi's eyes. Kakashi looked at the approaching spiral pill, his pupils tightened rapidly, and his heart continued to accelerate. That is the feeling of crisis, the feeling of death. The cold sweat instantly covered Kakashi's forehead, but his heart beat faster and faster. Bang! There was a sudden explosion. Chapter 8, Hidden Strength. Advertisement. It turned out that when the spiral pill was about to hit Kakashi, Qin Yu forcibly reversed the direction. Qin Yu flew out from Kakashi's front with the palm of Helix pill now. Qin Yu, who had left Kakashi's body, began to fall. At the same time, the spiral pill in his hand has changed direction with his arm and pressed it towards the ground. Boom! As soon as the spiral pill touched the ground, cracks appeared on the ground instantly. As the spiral pill made full contact with the ground, its power exploded. The high-speed spiral pill is like a mixer. In the blink of an eye, a large circular pit with a diameter of 2 meters and a depth of 1 meter was dug in the ground. Click! As soon as Kakashi landed, he was stunned. He never thought that the power of the ball in Qin Yu's hand just now was so powerful. If you were hit by this ball just now, the consequences. Thinking of this, the cold sweat on Kakashi's head resurfaced. Oh, I didn't expect Kakashi, you still can't work. Qin Yu suddenly appeared beside Kakashi, stretched out his hand and gently pulled a bell from his waist. Kakashi's bell was snatched from his waist, and when Qin Yu said this, his face went dark for a while. I wanted to say something to save my face, but in the end I didn't know what to say. After all, Qin Yu had proved his strength through strength, and it was true that he could not beat him. Forget it, I'll go back first, you guys continue to play slowly. After getting the bell, Qin Yu threw the bell back and returned it to Kakashi. He waved his hand and walked away lazily. After Qin Yu left, only Kakashi with a black face remained, and the San Shaoqiang who was completely stunned by the battle just now. Uchiha Qin Yu. Kakashi's face was dark, and he chanted the name through gritted teeth. Afterwards, Kakashi vented his unhappiness on the remaining San Shaoqiang. Suddenly, San Shaoqiang started the miserable course of Ji Fei Go Diao. A bowl of char shao ramen. Okay, wait. In the Yale Noodle restaurant, Qin Yu sat at the table with a relaxed and happy face. I remembered the Helix pill that I used when I was fighting Kakashi just now, but I didn't expect it to be so powerful. The skill of Helix pill was also rewarded by the system when Qin Yu signed in today. I originally thought that besides the need for Jayan, the power of this move should be average, so I didn't care much. And it is really accidental to make this move today. As a result, it was discovered by accident that the power of the spiral pill was still very strong. It's so painful. Obviously there are stronger fighting methods, but now they can't be used blatantly. It's too painful. Qin Yu held his forehead with a sad expression. Since coming to Hokage World, Qin Yu has become stronger every day with the help of the system's sign-in rewards. After so many days of signing in the system, Qin Yu has been greatly improved in all aspects. In terms of body, his own fairy body has been strengthened to greatness. The current immortal human body not only recovers quickly from chakra, but also has an astonishing amount of chakra reserves. According to Qin Yu's own estimation, the amount of chakra in his body should be comparable to the amount of chakra in the second generation of Hokage's thousands of hands. In terms of pupil technique, not only did he get the white eyes, but the writing round eyes had already reached the eternal kaleidoscope, and it was possible to initially summon Suzuo Nohu. As for ninjutsu, there are many S-level ninjutsu in his hands. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. These many aspects are superimposed on each other, and Qin Yu's reality is actually very powerful, comparable to the movie level. Advertisement. But Qin Yu still didn't want to expose himself. Qin Yu knew what kind of person the current Naruto Ape Fury Slash was, and that was a true ruler conspirator. And in Ninja Village, in addition to Sarutobi Hisaki, there are also people like Shimura Danzo, Juan Nakaharu, and Mito Menyon. These are the masters who can toss and toss at every turn. Once Qin Yu's strength is exposed, it will definitely arouse these people's jealousy. When that happens, he wants to live a life like a salted fish. Qin Yu felt a little bit painful when he thought of the need to restrain himself as much as possible. But that's it. Your char shao ramen. His slender hands held a bowl of hot ramen in front of Qin Yu. Qin Yu looked up and saw a girl with long hair. The girl's face is delicate, there is a blush on both cheeks, and she is wearing an apron. This person is the daughter who beats the Calamus. A chorus, are you making noodles today? Qin Yu had known Calamus a long time ago, and greeted Calamus when he saw it. It's Qin Yujun, long time no see. Chengpu hasn't come to the shop for a long time, and it hasn't been a long time since I saw Qin Yu. What have you been up to lately? I can't see you all the time, which makes my meal less fragrant during this time. Hearing Qin Yu's teasing love words, Chengpu's flushed cheeks turned red again. Qin Yujun will be joking. Although Chengpu said so, he couldn't help but explain it to Qin Yu. I recently opened a flower shop, and now I am busy with the flower shop most of the time. It turned out to be like this. After that, I will often go to the flower shop for dinner. Qin Yu took a sip of the noodle soup and said suddenly. What? Chengpu cried out in surprise, then whispered. That's not good. Qin Yu raised his head, looked at Chengpu's face, and said with a smile. Do you want me to starve to death? That was not what I meant. Chengpu hurriedly shook his head to deny. Then it's decided. I will go to the flower shop to have dinner with you when I have time. After Qin Yu finished speaking, he ate for himself. Changpu blushed and went back to work. After eating and drinking, Qin Yu molested the calamus for a while and then left. Naruto office. Kakashi, you said Uchiha Qin Yu has the strength of Shinobu. Naruto Tobiyori cut his brows and took a cigarette. Yes, I tried it with Qin Yu today, but I failed. When Kakashi said this, it was no longer a loose tone, but a decadent tone. Oh, Sarutobi Hitoshi was curious. Qin Yu not only opened the 3-go jade riding wheel eye as Hokage said, but also was able to perform a variety of fire escape ninjutsu, which can reach the level of B-level ninjutsu. Furthermore, his skill is agile, the use of hidden weapons is also very precise, and his timing is very accurate. For Qin Yu, Kakashi had a deep understanding. After all, he almost died in his hands today. It seems that Qin Yu Uchiha is hiding very deep. Sarutobi Hizen suddenly became a little worried. The rise of Qin Yu was too fast, and what was hidden was too deep. A few days ago, Geniuses told himself that he was the strength of Zongren, but now he told himself that he was the strength of Shangren. This change was too fast in a blink of an eye. Chapter 9. We picked the task for teacher Kakashi. Advertisement. Smoking a cigarette quietly alone, Sarutobi Hitori thought for a while. With a pop, he put the pipe on the table, and Sarutobi Risen had a decision in his heart. The ninja test will be in another month, and all major ninja villages will come to take the test. Sarutobi Rijon didn't talk about Qin Yu, but about the upcoming Zhongnan exam. Keep quiet about Qin Yu's affairs, let him perform well when he takes the exam for Zongren. Just take advantage of this opportunity to let the villages and daimyo take a look at the strength of my Konoha. Kakashi was taken aback. He didn't expect that the third generation would actually regard Qin Yu as the trump card in the Zhongnan exam. Although the Nakanobu test was named as the promotion test for Shinobu, it was actually the big Shinobu test that showed the village's strength in the form of an examination. This kind of examination is held twice a year, and each time determines the amount of tasks entrusted in the second half of the year and the funds and treatment the village receives from the princes. It can be said that the ninja test is equivalent to a small war between the big ninja villages. By the way, do you want Naruto to participate in the Zhongnan exam? As Naruto's teacher, Kakashi naturally knew that Naruto was Konoha's nine-tailed man Julie. Thinking of Naruto's peculiarities, Kakashi also had to ask Sarutobi Hizen who was a Naruto. Kakashi, this is Konoha. Sarutobi Hitoshi was a rare domineering once. Kakashi looked at the domineering Sarutobi Hitoshi and said with emotion, yes, this is Konoha. Kakashi fully understood the meaning of Sarutobi Hizen. This is Konoha. As Konoha, Naruto needs to be afraid of taking the exam in his own village. Is it possible that in my own home, I would still be afraid of being treated by others? I definitely won't. If there is nothing else, then I will go back first. Sarutobi slashed his hand, and Kakashi left. Tianzo. A member of Anbu wearing a cat face mask suddenly appeared in front of Sarutobi Hizen. Send someone to stare at Uchiha Qin Yu secretly, and report back in time if there is any situation. Also, starting today, strengthen the vigilance throughout the village to prevent other villages from sending people to sneak in. Yes. When the voice fell, the figure disappeared. Mission Hall. Uncle Yuri, what tasks can we take? Naruto Uzumaki looked at the task announcement board in front of him, and didn't know which tasks he could take. Haruno Sakura and Uchiha Sasuke on the left and right are also looking at the quest publisher Yuri. As for Qin Yu Uchiha, he was chatting with Hinata on the sidelines, and he didn't care about the three small strong at all. After all, after a long time, the relationship will easily fade. You need to show up from time to time, and pick up by the way, so that you can deepen the impression in Hinata's heart. This will help a future plan. There are D-level quests, you guys see what quests to take. Yuri took out a document and placed it in front of the Naruto trio. Look for a cat. Catch the thief, through the toilet. Looking at this outrageous task information, Naruto's face was full of unwillingness. Why are these tasks like this? Is there no advanced point? Naruto stared at Yuri with tears, but Yuri was unmoved. Facing the tearful Naruto with an expressionless face, he said, this is a task that Sha-Ren can take. Once you become a Zhong-Ren, you can take on high-level tasks. The three were speechless for a while. Yuri, help me see what tasks Shangren can take. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. At this moment, Qin Yu walked over and stunned everyone as soon as he spoke. Advertisement Yuli frowned and looked at Qin Yu, and asked, Shangren? Which one are you? I came here to pick the task for our teacher Kakashi. Qin Yu decisively pulled Kakashi out. Sure enough, when Yuri heard that it was Kakashi, his frowning brows relaxed a little. You are picking the task for Kakashi? Seeing Yuri still not believing, Qin Yu pointed at the three Naruto. The three of them and I are all students of teacher Kakashi. As a student of the teacher, is it not okay to pick the task for the teacher? At this time, Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke also reacted. Yeah, can we help our teacher pick tasks? Uzumaki Naruto looked straight and confident with his hands on his hips. Qin Yu covered his face in embarrassment, this shameful thing. Yuri was also surprised by Naruto's actions, he really didn't expect this kid to be like this. I was still aggrieved there just now to tears, and now he looks domineering. He is simply a face-changing master, and his face will change as soon as it changes. Since you helped Kakashi pick it, it's a different matter. Yuri began to pick some tasks that Shangren could perform. Qin Yu watched Yuli looking for information with a tricky smile on his face. In fact, it wasn't that Qin Yu wanted to help Naruto, but it happened that he also wanted to go for a stroll. Of course, strolling is not his purpose. His purpose is actually the weapon of the second generation of Hokage, Thor's sword. According to village records, Thor's sword has now been stolen. As for the stolen object, Morino had a painful hand. Qin Yu wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to go out to Konoha to secretly snatch the Thunder God's sword from Morino's painful hand. With the sword of Thor, he can gain swordsmanship through the system. I will also take this opportunity to improve my own strength. Look at it, this is a task that Shangren can take. When the three Naruto looked at it, their startled eyes almost fell off. Nothing else, just because the task is difficult and the rewards are rich. Shaking his head, Qin Yu took the information from Naruto's hand. Just this A-level mission, capture the defecting ninja Kazuo Ishikawa. Qin Yu handed the information back to Yuli and asked him to register it. After Yuli registered, he gave Qin Yu the scroll of information about the mission. After that, Qin Yu took the three of them to the assembly place of the 7th class. As soon as they arrived at the assembly place, everyone saw Kakashi lying alone on a branch, watching the intimate heaven. "Hello, teacher Kakashi." Naruto greeted Kakashi, waving his arms far away. Seeing everyone, Kakashi jumped down from the tree. "What happened to you one by one?" Kakashi was puzzled looking at all the happy things in front of him. "Ms. Kakashi, we just took over a task for you," Naruto, who couldn't help himself, told Kakashi about it all at once. "Oh, you helped me with a task, are you so happy?" Kakashi said with a smile, rather helpless. "Didn't it just take a task? You need to be so happy, these little shit kids." As soon as he finished speaking, Kakashi realized that something was wrong. "Naruto, what did you just say? You say it again." Seeing Kakashi, who suddenly became anxious, the monk Naruto's husband, the second monk, scratched the back of his head, scratching his head. Chapter 10, A-level mission. Advertisement, I just said that we went to the mission hall to take a mission for you. Naruto looked at Kakashi's anxious appearance and repeated it again. "Nani?" Kakashi closed the intimacy heaven with a pop. "No, this is your mission data scroll." Qin Yu stepped forward to make up the knife in a timely manner, and handed over the task scroll. Damn it. Kakashi couldn't help it anymore, and it was a swear word. Ninjas all have a mission success rate, and the success rate of this mission is related to the commission of the mission. Commissions with a high success rate will naturally be higher after completing the task. On the contrary, if the task success rate is low, the commission will be relatively reduced. And Kakashi, after years of purposeful task collection, his task success rate has reached 99.5%. And now, if someone else helped him take a task, it was equivalent to him taking a task. It is one thing if the task is completed. If the task fails, it is estimated that his success rate will drop to 95%. And this percentage reduction, if converted into commission, how much money it has to be. Opening the task scroll hurriedly, Kakashi's single eye quickly took a look. So far so good. Kakashi's fast-pacing heart finally started to slow down. With a sullen face, he looked at Naruto and asked, "Who thought of this idea?" "It's him, it's me." The three Naruto looked at each other, and they just sold Qin Yu. Qin Yu also seemed to know that the three of them would sell him, and at the same time he took the initiative to admit it. "It turned out to be you." Called Qin Yu. Seeing that it was Uchiha Qin Yu again, Kakashi instantly became calm. Last time, it was this Qin Yu who not only lost face, but also almost lost his life. Now, it was this Qin Yu who had taken another task for himself indiscriminately. Thinking of this, Kakashi couldn't help but roar no longer. Seeing that Kakashi was going crazy, Qin Yu didn't play with him, just a move to release the clone. With a bang, the figure turned into white smoke. Qin Yu disappeared, only Kakashi and Naruto were left. Seeing that Qin Yu turned out to be a clone, he obviously anticipated this situation, so he was ready to run away in advance. Kakashi's flame has risen, and he wants to disappear so quickly. Just seeing that the three Naruto were still there, they directly shifted the flame to the target. As a classmate, if you don't stop Qin Yu from coming in such a mess, you still help. See if I won't clean up you. Next, the three members of the 7th class were severely beaten by the society. Of course, this Qin Yu didn't know, but he can probably think of it too. "Hinata, do you have a task today?" "No. Qin Yu took the shy Hinata and wandered on the street. It's rare to have time, just to go shopping together. Seeing Hinata's face getting redder and red, Qin Yu smiled. "Qin Yu-jun." At this moment, Ino suddenly patted Qin Yu's shoulder from behind. "Oh, Ino. Why are you here?" When Qin Yu saw Ino, he asked happily. "Well, Ino." The moment Hinata saw Ino, he hurriedly took his hand from Qin Yu's. "I came out to stroll around and just saw you, what a coincidence. Why don't we go together? I happen to be shopping with Hinata too." Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Since the last barbecue dinner, Qin Yu began to have an intersection with Ino. Advertisement after that, Qin Yu began to line at 4 o'clock every day. Hinata, Ino, Changpu and the 7th class are concentrated. 4 points and 1 line in the true sense. Okay. Ino is on the left, Hina has on the right, and Qin Yu is in the middle. The three of them went shopping, eating and drinking, having fun, and they just spent the day happily. The next morning, just after dawn, Naruto outside the door knocked on the door. Qin Yu got up. Kakashi said that he would leave the village to complete the task today. He wants to take us with him. Oh, got it. Rubbing his eyes and yawning, Qin Yu turned over and continued to sleep. When Qin Yu slept, it was almost noon when he woke up. After brushing his teeth and washing his face unhurriedly, and then went to Yile to eat a bowl of noodles, he walked slowly towards the assembly place. As soon as I arrived at the meeting place, I saw Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke fall asleep leaning on the stakes. Qin Yu shook his head helplessly. This Kakashi was really cheating. At this time, Kakashi finally appeared. As soon as he appeared, he was embarrassed by the scene in front of him. Kakashi asked suspiciously, "What's the matter?" Qin Yu cast his eyes at Kakashi silently and said, "Isn't it you caused it?" "Huh? I caused it?" Kakashi was dumbfounded. They had nothing to do with them, how they caused it by themselves. Kakashi does not carry this pot. Looking at Kakashi's appearance, Qin Yu suddenly understood that he obviously didn't realize the meaning of his words. "Did you tell them yesterday that you were going to have a mission today and let them arrive early?" "Well, there is such a thing. Then what time do you tell them to meet?" Facing this soul-like inquiry, Kakashi was embarrassed. "Then when did you come by yourself? Don't you have any points in your heart?" Now it's heartbroken. It turned out that it was all self-made. Kakashi smiled awkwardly and went to wake up the three sleeping people. Under the murmur of the three people, the Kakashi team started to set off. This time the task is to capture Konoha's defector ninja, Ishikawa Kazuo. This Ishikawa Kazuo is a ninja, proficient in water and thunder. According to the information, his scope of activity is in Kahara village, 27 kilometers away from Konoha. When you arrive in Kahara village, everything will be under my command, and you are not allowed to act without authorization, you know. Although Kakashi is sometimes unreliable, but when it comes to some more dangerous things, he is still very serious. "I know, Mr. Kakashi." Seeing that Naruto agreed first, and then others followed suit, Kakashi's heart also relaxed a lot. He is not afraid of anything, but the most afraid of Naruto and the others is not obedient. I was afraid that they would act without authorization and finally put themselves in danger. However, this time Kakashi dared to take everyone with him to complete this ill-level mission, mainly because of Qin Yu. Because of Qin Yu's strength, he has the courage to do so. Otherwise, even if Kakashi was killed, he wouldn't do it. After all, who would panic after eating and having nothing to do? If you are really idle, you might as well take a look at the reality of intimacy in paradise. At the thought of intimacy in heaven, Kakashi's heart began to move around. After taking out a copy of Intimacy Paradise from the ninja bag, Kakashi hurried off while reading a book. Chapter 11. I'm here to borrow Thor's sword advertisement. While on the way, Qin Yu quietly performed a replacement technique. This was obtained by Qin Yu from the system not long ago. This replacement technique is a very special technique. The caster can separate multiple clones according to their own strength. The clones separated by the replacement technique can always share thinking and vision with the subject. At the same time, the most amazing thing is that he can cross the latitude of space and directly exchange the positions of the subject and the clone. It's a bit like the kind of space jump. The main body followed Kakashi on the way. As for the clone separated by replacement technique, it went to the vicinity of Urin village. According to the information collected by himself, Morino Tosho is now hiding in the vicinity of Urin village. In a camp owner's tent near Urin village, Wasabi Jiro, what are we going to do? Morino was wearing a black robe with Yunin's forehead in his hand and carrying a sword wrapped in black cloth on his back. Last night the village received news that a batch of materials from Jinji State will pass near the village, so the above asked me to take this batch of materials. Wasabi Jiro drank the wine and followed Morino's painful explanation. The Kingdom of Gold? What country is this? Morino clearly hadn't heard of this country before and didn't understand this country of gold at all. It seems that I know Morino Koshisho doesn't understand this country of Jin, and Mr. Wasabi Jiro also explained it. This country of gold is a small and remote country, mainly rich in gold, so this country often uses gold to conduct various transactions with major countries. Last night the village received news that this time the Kingdom of Gold used gold to trade a large number of hardcover ninjas, and the number is still very large. Coincidentally, their route was known to us, so. Mr. Wasabi Jiro did not go on, but Morino Tingshu understood his intentions. The strength of the escort team of the Kingdom of Gold. This time, besides himself and Mr. Wasabi Jiro, there were 6 Nakanin from Urinen village who came with him. Even so, Morino was still a little worried. Don't worry, the team of the Kingdom of Gold is at the highest level of ninja level. This task is a breeze for everyone. Wasabi Jiro smiled. Obviously he was completely relieved of the strength of the team he had brought. Since Mr. Wasabi Jiro is so sure, then I can rest assured. Mr. Wasabi Jiro said so. What else could Morino say? Obviously he couldn't say any more. Suddenly, there was a noisy chaos outside. Morino Desho and Wasabi Jiro frowned. I'll go out and have a look. Morino turned around painfully and walked out of the tent. As soon as he walked out of the tent, Morino saw his 6 teammates, surrounded by a young man, who was Qin Yu. The people Qin Yu looked at with a smile did not move. It seems that you are hurting Morino. Seeing Morino stepping out of the tent, Qin Yu asked him directly. Morino was stunned when he heard the words, looked at Qin Yu suspiciously, and asked, "Who are you?" No matter what Morino thought, he couldn't think of who the man in front of him was. It seems that I don't know this person in my own memory. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Qin Yu touched his head and said with a smile, "My name is Uchiha Qin Yu, I'm here to borrow something from you." Advertisement. When Morino heard the three words Uchiha in pain, his pupils suddenly shrank. Uchiha, this is Konoha's big clan. As a former Konoha ninja, he obviously knows it. And since the person in front of him, since his surname is Uchiha, he should be Konoha's ninja. After hearing Qin Yu's words that he had come to borrow something, Morino's painful hands suddenly tightened. He didn't come to ask for his own head, after all, he was Konoha's rebel. As a traitor, being asked for a head, this is very common in various ninja villages. You, what do you want to borrow? Although he was suspicious, Morino Pain still didn't believe it and couldn't help asking. He wanted to know if Qin Yu really came to take his own head as he thought. When the surrounding Yurin saw this stranger and Morino knew each other, they both looked at each other. Obviously they don't know what the situation is now. It's me. Qin Yu deliberately stretched his voice, dangled Morino's painful hand, and said, "Come and borrow the Thunder God's sword." Thunder God's sword. Morino's pupil shrank again, and his tight body tightened again. He didn't expect Qin Yu to come for the Thunder God's sword. But if he wanted him to surrender the Thor's sword, Morino clearly refused to do it. Morino Pasho originally had the strength of Shinin, but since he obtained the Thunder God's sword, everything has changed. Relying on the power of Thor's sword, Morino Pashu's strength has reached a particularly forbearing level. Morino Pain, who possessed the strength of Shangnan, was able to be accepted by Yunnan village after becoming a traitor. If he no longer owns the Thunder God's sword, then his strength will be able to endure again. What he will encounter at that time, even he himself can't imagine. Little devil, you dare to speak up on the site of our Yuran village, I think you are looking for death. One of the 6 ninjas opened his mouth and yelled at Qin Yu. Morino heard this Zonrins angrily, and suddenly thought of something. The guy in front of him is still a kid, and he is estimated to be the strength of Shinin. Just such a kid, why is he afraid of him? Even if he is from Uchiha, does he have the strength to cause any harm to himself? When he thought of this, Morino Pain suddenly changed his whole person. Uchiha's kid, I think you are crazy. Since you took the initiative to deliver it, don't blame us. Morino's painful hand suddenly looked at Qin Yu severely, and suddenly became angrily at the thought of his appearance just now. Qin Yu sighed softly and shook his head. Originally, I just wanted to borrow the Thor's sword from you. Now looking at you, the co-pilot, it's probably not going to let me go. If this is the case, then I have no choice but to be rude to you. Hearing that, the 6 Yumura Shinobu and Morino laughed for a while. Only by you, besides you, there are still ambushes around. Although Morino Tingsho was laughing at Qin Yu, he was also wary of whether there was an ambush all around him. After all this is too strange. And when Yurin's 6 Zongren heard Morino Pashu's words, they all raised their spirits and watched the surroundings vigilantly. Qin Yu looked at the people in front of him, smiled slightly, and the 3 Guyu writing round eyes suddenly appeared. Chapter 12. Suzuo Nohu. Advertisement. Laugh. A series of cold absorption sounded one after another. This is writing round eyes. Morino looked at Qin Yu's eyes in shock with pain, and cried out in exclamation. What's wrong? What's wrong? What happened to the fuss? Mr. Wasabi Jiro walked out of the tent holding the wine bottle. Morino has gone out so long, why is it still messy outside? Obviously he was a little dissatisfied, so he came out to take a look. Writing round eyes. Konoha ninja. After seeing Qin Yu's eyes, Wasabi Jiro suddenly remembered that only Konoha had a writing wheel, and began to examine Qin Yu. Mori is sore. What is going on? Morino looked at Majiro Wasabi looking at him with painful hands. He didn't know how to explain, so he answered truthfully. Mr. Wasabi Jiro suddenly touched the ground with his hands and used his perception ability. There is no ambush around here, this kid is alone. After hearing this, everyone felt relieved. Since it's the one who sent it to the door, I will accept it, Mr. Wasabi Jiro, and everyone will go to me. Mr. Wasabi Jiro stared at Qin Yu in front of him with greedy eyes, and his whole body was almost floating. It's just right, I also try to see how Susao is going. The corner of Qin Yu's mouth was raised, and his eyes changed for a while, and in a blink of an eye they turned into a 6-pointed star. Susanna can be. The transparent black barrier wrapped Qin Yu, and strands of black flames were attached to the outside of the barrier. Water escape water dragon bomb. Fire escape how fireball. Lei dun go. ... Seeing that Qin Yu was wrapped in a barrier, the 6 middle ninjas were all ninjutsu shots. 6 ninjutsu shrouded Qin Yu in all directions. Boom. The explosion sounded, smoke filled, but Qin Yu was unharmed. This is your offense. Qin Yu's ironic voice reached everyone's ears, arousing a burst of anger in everyone's hearts. Mori is so painful, split this tortoise shell. Seeing that his 6 Zongren couldn't break Qin Yu's barrier, Yamakui Jiro couldn't believe it. But he believed that with Morino's painful Thunder God's sword, it should be enough to split this barrier. Okay. Morino's painful hands came out more and more, took off the sword behind him and opened it. An exquisite long sword full of silver appeared. Watch out. Morino pained chakra into the Thor's sword, and slashed it in the air. There was a sound of sword sound, and a sharp sword light shot out, instantly smashing Qin Yu's barrier. Boom. Crackling. The sword light hit the barrier, bursting out a dazzling thunder light. The extremely destructive thunder light, combined with the sword light, even split the barrier into a crack. This Thor's sword is so powerful. Seeing the cracks in the barrier, Qin Yu was not worried, but sighed at the power of the Thunder God sword. With a boom, the cracked barrier healed suddenly, and a rib suddenly appeared. The rib slowly evolved and increased, and finally formed a skeletal trunk. What kind of monster is this? What exactly is this? What a strong breath. Seeing this sudden skeletal torso, the six Zongren became scared. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Obviously, they have never seen such a weird thing. Advertisement. Although Jiro was surprised, he was not as scared as the others. Because he saw that this barrier has a shortcoming, that is, it can only defend, not attack. Otherwise, how could he be in situ, accepting the attack of himself and others without being moved? Don't panic, he can only defend with this ninjutsu. As long as you hit a ninjutsu attack, you can crush the turtle shell. Wasabi Jiro Chengqiang first took the lead in Jaeyan, and then everyone tried their best to perform their strongest blow. Boom, boom, boom. A series of roars exploded, and smoke was flying all over the sky. Everyone stared at the smoke closely, and they were very nervous, even Mr. Wasabi Jiro, who was calm just now. The smoke dissipated, and everyone's pupils suddenly shrank. How could be intact? Wasabi Jiro looked in front of him in surprise, his face was full of disbelief. Hey, is your strength so small? Qin Yu shook his head disappointedly, and said with emotion, I thought how strong it was a waste of my pupil power. As the eternal kaleidoscope turns, a skeletal arm emerges from the rib trunk. A palm of the bone swept towards the people in front of him. Run away. Without knowing who spoke, everyone fled in all directions. But Qin Yu's Suzuo can almost escape so easily. Obviously not. Except for Wasabi Jiro and Morino, everyone else was hit by Qin Yu's bone palm. The immense power shot the six Zongren to death in an instant, and then I didn't know where the shot was going. Please spare my life. Seeing that he couldn't run away, Mr. Wasabi Jiro took the lead to kneel on the ground and beg for mercy. Morino knelt on the ground with a sore hand, tremblingly begging for mercy. Qin Yu left Suzuo Nohu and came to the two of them. Why should I spare you? Qin Yu asked in a rhetorical question. I'll hand over the Thor's sword to you, please forgive me. Morino handed out the Thor's sword with a painful hand, trembling, panicked and frightened. Obviously, he was very afraid of Qin Yu. With a click, Qin Yu picked up the Thunder God's sword. Qin Yu was very satisfied with a few swipes of the Thunder God's sword. This Thor's sword is worthy of the name of the Naruto artifact. It is not only light but also sharp, and most importantly, it has a stronger carrying capacity for chakra. Seeing that Qin Yu was very satisfied with the Thunder God's sword, Morino breathed a sigh of relief. With a swish, Mr. Wasabi Jiro, who was kneeling, suddenly violent. Holding Kuwu in his hand, he pierced Qin Yu's chest. Just when he was about to stab Qin Yu in the chest, Jiro Wasabi stopped. I saw Wasabi Jiro's eyes without a goddess, while Qin Yu was smiling. Obviously, he was hit by Qin Yu's illusion. Kunai flipped over in his hand, and Wasabi Jiro held the flipped kunai and thrust into his chest fiercely. Puff. Kuwu pierced into the body, blood spilled out. With a plop, Mr. Wasabi Jiro, who had become a corpse, lay on the ground. Oh, I am also a pacifist, this is not what I want. Morino Tingsho was originally afraid of panic, but when Qin Yu said this, he became even more afraid. At the same time, my heart is full of complaints. You're still a pacifist, look at what you have done. You are still pacifist. It's because of what you said. It's not that you are willing to die so many people. If you were willing to get up, wouldn't it be a river of blood? Although vomiting, Morino didn't dare to say that in half. After all, this one in front of him is a killer, and his life is still important. Chapter 13. Quest Destination, Kahara Village. Advertisement. Let's go. I am a peace-loving person and will not kill innocent people indiscriminately. Hearing this, Morino, who had escaped, could not help but almost fell in pain. She resisted the urge to scold her, and disappeared in a slip of smoke. After receiving the Thor's sword into the system space, Qin Yu put away the eternal kaleidoscope. Shaking his head, Qin Yu hugged his head and left. Ms. Kakashi, how far is it to get to the destination? Uzumaki Naruto had never done this kind of task before, let alone accepted this kind of long-distance task. Alright, at this rate, we should be able to reach Kahara village in about 2 days. What, 2 more days or so? Naruto burst into tears for a while. Obviously, the whole day was boring to death. Shut up, Naruto, you are the only one yelling here. Kozakura couldn't stand Naruto's appearance, so she screamed. Sakura, Naruto is not afraid of the sky, but is afraid of Sakura. Hearing Sakura's words, after a moment of grievance and chanting his name, she didn't say anything. Qin Yu shook his head as he looked at it from behind. Naruto is purely for fun. In this way, a group of people rushed non-stop, and 2 days passed in a blink of an eye. And they finally arrived near Kahara village. Psychic art. Kakashi bit his finger, nodded his hand and slammed the ground. With a bang, a cloud of white smoke suddenly appeared on the side. Kakashi, what do you call me out? A ninja dog with Konoha's forehead looked at Kakashi with a sad expression. I'm sorry Parker, I'm bothering you. Kakashi looked at Parker and said, thank you, help me go to the village in front of you and see what's going on in the village. It is good. When Parker finished talking, he ran up to himself. Ms. Kakashi, is this psychic, so powerful? Naruto looked at Kakashi with gleaming eyes, with a look of admiration. Yes, this is spiritism. Kakashi nodded proudly when he saw Naruto's worshipping eyes. Although Sakura and Sasuke on the side were surprised by Kakashi's spiritism, they were not like Naruto. As for Qin Yu, he was totally despised. Will Suzuo still be able to see a psychic beast if he is in hand? And even if he wanted psychic beasts, Qin Yu wouldn't want this kind of forbearance dog. There is no fighting power, and it is not cute yet, and it has almost no practicality. After a while, ninja dog Parker returned. Kakashi, I can't get in the village, but the periphery of the village is guarded by some ninjas. Parker recalled it for a while and said through it. The four directions of the village have ninja guards, and there are 2 sets of ninjas in each place. If you want to enter this village, you still need to be careful. I feel that this village is not easy. After Parker reported on the investigation, Kakashi was silent, obviously thinking about something. When it's time for dinner, if there is nothing wrong, I will go back first. Parker dog watched it was too early, and hurried back to have lunch. After hurriedly greeted Kakashi, the spiritism was lifted and disappeared with a bang. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Kakashi shook his head helplessly. Advertisement. You will follow me for a while, don't talk, I will negotiate with them first and see what's going on. After all, they only came to catch Konoha to rebel against Shinobu, and there was no need to have a direct conflict with other Shinobu villages. Naruto held the back of his head with both hands, looking so bored. In this way, the group blatantly came to the village gate of Kahara village. As soon as Kakashi and his party arrived at the entrance of the village, 2 ninjas from Kahara village suddenly appeared in front of them with a swish. With a serious expression, Kakashi's group was guarded with a vigilant face. Hello, we are Konoha ninja. Kakashi saw the ninja of Kahara village so vigilant. Although he was confused, he couldn't say anything. He could only show his identity first. Kakashi looked at the 2 Kahara ninjas and said, I don't know if I can bother to show us your village chief. Peas. Only in the 5 great ninja villages under the jurisdiction of the 5 great nations, the village chief can be called a shadow, and the village chief is the village chief in the other small countries. Close black lens bracket. The 2 Kahara Mura ninjas looked at each other, and then said, you wait, I'll ask. Okay, I'm tired of it. One of the ninjas confessed to the other ninja and left. After a while, the ninja who had left came back. There was also an old man with a cane who came back with him. Hello Konoha ninja, I am the head of this Kahara village, and my name is Yui. The mayor of Shongjing came forward and shook hands with Kakashi, his face was kind. Hello village chief, this is Konoha Kamikaze. This time I came to your village to capture Konoha's defected kamikaze, Ishikawa Kazuo. According to the information we got, this man Ishikawa is lurking in your village, so can you ask the village chief to let us enter the village and arrest him? The head of Shongjing village hesitated and embarrassed. Did something happen? Kakashi saw the embarrassment of the village chief Shongjing, and vaguely felt what was going on in the village. I'm sorry, everyone, Konoha, but now a large-scale epidemic has occurred in the village, so for your safety, I suggest you go back. The mayor of Shongjing sighed and persuaded everyone to leave. Epidemic. Kakashi was taken aback. He didn't expect an epidemic to happen in Kahara village. Qin Yu glanced at Shongjing thoughtfully. I don't know why, Qin Yu always feels that this Shongjing is a bit weird. As for why it's weird, I can't say it right now. This picture, the village chief, after entering Kahara village, if we have any accidents, it has nothing to do with your Kahara village. Look, I promised you this way now, do you think it's okay? When the mayor of Kahara village just refused, Kakashi roughly understood what the mayor meant. Although the village chief was thinking about the safety of Kakashi and others, in fact he didn't want to cause trouble. The village chief was afraid that Kakashi and others would have accidents when they entered the village, and they would be convicted by Konoha. So this is not willing to let everyone in Kakashi enter the village. With Kakashi's assurance, Mayor Yui frowned and thought about it, and then said, okay, then. After that, everyone began to enter Kahara village under the leadership of the head of Shongjing village. As soon as they entered the door of the village, everyone saw many pharmacists and some pharmacist assistants running around. It seems that it is really a large-scale epidemic. Seeing this real scene before him, Qin Yu muttered to himself. Just now he thought it was the old village elder who was fooling around. The purpose is to prevent people like them from entering the village, and then I didn't expect this to be true. The village chief did not deceive anyone. Of course, apart from Qin Yu, Kakashi had the same idea before, but now the facts are in front of him. Chapter 14. Weird Epidemic. Advertisement. With the leadership of the village chief, everyone saw patients and pharmacists almost everywhere. Kakashi frowned and asked the head of Shongjing village, since the epidemic is so serious, why not seek help from some big countries or Darren village? Kakashi is very curious. Under normal circumstances, he should seek help in such a thing. In order to solve this problem as soon as possible, so that the village can be on the right track. Village Chief Xiangjing sighed and said, "It's not that we don't want to ask for help, it's that it's useless." It's useless. Now it was Qin Yu's turn to wonder. This epidemic is very strange. I sought help from some large villages, but it turned out that it couldn't be cured, and it ended up in the end. An epidemic that cannot be cured. Kakashi's face suddenly became serious. This kind of epidemic can't be cured, and the problem is serious. You can find our Konoha medical ninja, they can cure any disease. At this moment, Naruto, who had been silent, suddenly became excited. Obviously, he couldn't bear to see the tragedy in the village. Kakashi did not stop, apparently he also acquiesced to Naruto's meaning. After all, seeing the appearance of this village, he will inevitably feel heavy in his heart. Maybe. Mayor Xiangjing's tone was a little sad, obviously he didn't quite believe what Naruto said. And even if Konoha's medical ninja can be treated, but if he goes to ask for help, will Konoha really send someone to save people? Everything is unknown. Finally, the head of Xiangjing village led everyone into an inn and helped them settle down. "Thank you, village chief," Kakashi said thankfully. "Then I won't bother you. If you act freely, I will retire first." The mayor of Xiangjing left directly after speaking, leaving Kakashi and his party in the hotel. "Qin Yu, you go out with me to investigate. Naruto, stay in the hotel first, don't move." Kakashi confessed to Naruto before leaving the hotel with Qin Yu. Kakashi was most worried about Naruto. No way, who makes Naruto always have problems? Qin Yu, on your side, on my side, check it out separately. After Kakashi ordered the directions, he left. Qin Yu walked slowly in the direction he was exploring. This is, Qin Yu, who was investigating, suddenly saw someone sneaking up on the medical team's medicine box. Qin Yu didn't make a sound, but quietly found a place to hide. "What are you doing?" The sneaky person touched the medicine on the medicine chest, and without stealing it, he touched it quietly. This strange behavior made Qin Yu very puzzled. Seeing this man left afterwards, Qin Yu also quietly followed. After arriving in a remote place, the figure hid in a room. Qin Yu came and jumped gently on the top of the house, and prying open the wooden planks of the roof without making a sound. After entering the house, Qin Yu did not see the person just now. What about people? Just when Qin Yu was puzzled, footsteps suddenly appeared outside the door, and it was obvious that someone was going in. Seeing the situation, Qin Yu found a place to hide. With a squeak, the door opened. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The person who came in turned out to be the village head Xiangjing. Advertisement. Xiangjing walked into the house with a cane, and then closed the door. Xiangjing skillfully walked to the front of the stairs, reaching out his hand against the handrail and turning it for a while. With a sound of "kaka," a hole appeared on the floor next to it, and a ladder was erected under the hole. Xiangjing stepped on the ladder and went down. This village chief is really weird. Qin Yu smiled at the corner of his mouth, and followed Xiangjing into the cave with a flash of figure. It is estimated that after walking a two-story ladder, the two went underground. It was a very empty passage, and candles were lit on the left and right sides of the passage. Xiangjing walked towards the passage with a cane. At the end of the passage, there is a huge space. In this huge space, a huge stone bed in the middle surrounds these 6 cages. How is the plan going? Xiangjing looked at the man in front of the stone bed and asked in a deep voice. The man turned around, Yin Yin smiled, and said, "I have a look." Qin Yu looked at the man, but he was taken aback. This man was Konoha's rebellious forbearance, Kazuo Ishikawa. Why is he here? What is his relationship with Xiangjing, the head of this village? When he was puzzled, Qin Yu followed his gaze, and suddenly there was a faint anger burning in his heart. It turned out that on the stone bed in the middle, a young girl was lying with her limbs fixed. The girl closed her eyes tightly, her face turned pale, and there was a cut in the wrists of her left and right hands that was bleeding. Konoha's people are here, you have to be careful recently, don't catch it then. Xiangjing was immediately happy when he heard Kazuo Ishikawa said that he planned to have eyebrow pencils. At the same time, he told him the news of Konoha ninja's arrival. What are you afraid of? As long as my human experiments are completed, then the entire village will become your servants. Moreover, they are still powerful servants. Konoha and Hokage will all be destroyed under our humanoid weapons. Look at it, see for yourself, how wonderful our humanoid weapons are. Ishikawa's crazy voice echoed in the basement. As the voice echoed, many arms with sharp claws stretched out from the cage. Very cryptic, full of fear. For Ishikawa Kazuo's madness, we seems to be used to seeing him a long time ago, so he doesn't take it seriously. Yes, stop the poisoning thing for a few days, try not to let your poisoner go out to poison, and don't be caught by Konoha's people, so as not to expose the matter. Hearing what Xiangi said, Kazuo Ishikawa also stopped frantic, frowned, and said, I see. You go back. Xiangjing didn't get angry, and turned around with a cane and left. In order not to be discovered, Qin Yu had already left before Xiangjing left. After leaving, Qin Yu returned to the hotel. This is before going out, Kakashi and himself agreed. Regardless of whether he found the news, he had to go back to the hotel. As soon as he entered the hotel, Qin Yu saw Kakashi sitting alone thinking. Seeing Qin Yu's return, Kakashi asked, how is it, are there any clues? How about you? Qin Yu didn't answer, he wanted to know if Kakashi found anything. I found that this village is weird, and I feel very strange about the epidemic. I also found a man whose whereabouts were mysterious and wanted to follow, but he ran away. After Qin Yu heard it, he had to admire Kakashi, who had found so many in a while. If I hadn't had better luck, I would have seen that weird person and followed up, I guess it would have been nothing. Chapter 15. Exposure. Advertisement. What about you? Did you find anything? Kakashi raised his head to look at Qin Yu, even Naruto and others, who had nothing to do, looked at him. Yes, and it's serious, Qin Yu said seriously, rarely. When everyone heard the words, they were also taken aback. Kakashi was curious about Qin Yu's discovery, and hurriedly asked, what discovery? I also met one of the weird people you were talking about. I followed him and went to a house. And then, seeing Qin Yu stopped suddenly, everyone looked at him eagerly. I sneaked into the house and found a basement in the house. In the basement, guess what I saw? The three Naruto of Kakashi were obviously aroused by Qin Yu's curiosity. Impulsive and impatient, Naruto was impatient and asked quickly, what do you see? Qin Yu glanced at the crowd, and then said, I saw Kazuo Ishikawa and Shangjing. Shock. Full of shock. How is this going? Everyone looked dumbfounded and didn't know what was going on. What's the situation? What are the two of them doing? Kakashi frowned, obviously not expecting such a situation. The two of them are conducting human experiments in the basement of that room. And the epidemic in this village was planned by these two people alone. These two news, like heavy bombs one after another, exploded in the hearts of Kakashi and others. How could? Kakashi couldn't believe it. Qin Yu, did you make a mistake? The village chief's grandfather is very kind, he is not such a person. Naruto, who had been short of roots since childhood, immediately caused an injustice for the mayor of Oi village. Naruto. Sakura also believed in Naruto, but he felt even more that he should believe in Qin Yu. What is their purpose? Kakashi suddenly thought of a question, and that is why they did it. What is the purpose of doing this kind of thing? It is impossible to carry out such a plan for no reason. I'm not very clear about the specifics. I only heard them talk about humanoid weapons and poisonous people. Qin Yu frowned and said his guess. I suspect that the purpose of their poisoning is to disable the villagers' mobility and also to cover their human experiments. After all, if one or two people disappear during the epidemic, they only need to die in Xuancheng. At the same time, it is to prevent things from being exposed and let people run out of the village and leak out. Kakashi's face was full of heavy words. Although this is Qin Yu's guess, based on Kakashi's many years of experience, it is clear that Qin Yu's guess is the truth of this matter. At this time, Naruto had no doubts before. I'm going to the village chief to ask clearly why he did this. Naruto yelled in excitement and rushed out when he pulled his leg. No, get Naruto back quickly. Seeing Naruto's appearance, Kakashi knew something was going to happen. He rushed out in the first place, obviously to catch Naruto quickly. Although Sakura and Sasuke did not speak, they rushed out. Although the two of them are not strong, they are not without their brains. Where is it here? This is Kahara village, and people from Kahara village are everywhere. Once the matter is broken, then what I have to face is the force of an entire village. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. They don't believe that with a few of them, they can still retreat from the village. Advertisement. So the most important thing now is to find Naruto and leave quickly. Just when Qin Yu also left the hotel and went out to find Naruto. On the bed of the hotel, a secret door opened strangely. From inside, a figure sprang out, and this figure was Kazuo Ishikawa. Now that you all know it, then you can enjoy the results of my experiment. A gloomy voice rang in the room, followed by a series of laughs. The door of the village chief's house. The village chief, why do you poison the people of Kahara village, why do you use them for human experiments, and why on earth? Naruto's expression was very excited, and even his whole body shook as he spoke. The originally friendly village head Shangjing suddenly seemed to have changed. Looking at Naruto solemnly, he said in a deep voice, you know. Why are you doing this? Seeing the village chief confessed, Naruto was even more excited. Obviously, he didn't understand at all what the village did this for. Boy, you won't understand, and you have no chance to understand. Originally you could live, but now it's obviously impossible. The crutches in the hands of the village chief Shangjing suddenly pierced towards Naruto. The desperate Naruto never expected the village chief to make a sudden move, and was stabbed in the abdomen before he could react. Bang! The tremendous force knocked Naruto to the ground and stroked a distance. Cough cough cough. Standing on the ground, Naruto coughed and panted again and again. Shangjing twisted his cane, then drew a long knife. The long knife came out of its sheath, and a sound of chang knives sounded. Just wait obediently for your friends to come to you. Shangjing stabbed Naruto with a sword, obviously intending to kill with a single blow. Clang. At the critical moment, Kakashi held kunai to resolve the sting of Wii. Kakashi Konoha. Seeing Kakashi appeared, Yui seemed to understand, and Konoha's people should know. He smiled and said, it seems that I can only send you a few to go together. Although Shangjing is old, his strength is not weak. I saw him dancing the sword and attacking Kakashi, and for a while, ding and jingle bells sounded one after another. The abnormal sound caused the attention of the three Kahara ninjas. As soon as the ninja of Kahara village appeared, the village head hurriedly said, "Hurry up and kill the ninja of Konoha, they are going to destroy the village." The three ninjas heard what the village chief said, and rushed towards Naruto while holding kunai. Obviously he passed with the idea of killing Naruto. At this time, Naruto's body hadn't slowed down, seeing the ninja who was killed on the face, he could only evade in a hurry. Just when one of the ninjas seized the opportunity and prepared to kill Naruto. With a swish, Kuwu volleyed towards the ninja who was about to kill Naruto. When the ninja sees kunai, his body shape is to dodge and evade. This saving kunai was thrown by Sasuke who had just arrived. Sasuke and Sakura arrived in time. "Naruto, are you okay?" Kozakura glanced at Naruto with a bad face, then focused her attention on the ninja in Kahara village. Sasuke stared at the Kahara ninja closely to prevent them from suddenly making a move. "Kill them quickly, don't let them run away, otherwise Kahara village will be over." Although the head of Kahara village was fighting Kakashi, he was still worried that Naruto would run away. In a pure swordsmanship competition, Kakashi is obviously not the opponent of Yui village chief. Chapter 16. Thunder Armor, 1000 Bird Sharp Spear. Advertisement. Although it is not an opponent in the swordsmanship competition, it does not prevent Kakashi from speaking. "Naruto, be careful, resolve the battle quickly and then retreat." At this time, the battle has begun. The technique of multiple shadow clones. Naruto separated 3 shadow avatars, matched with the main body and Sakura Sasuke, and attacked the ninja in Kahara village. The ninja of Kahara village just heard the village chief's explanation, and desperately killed the 3 Naruto. Although Kahara village is a small village, the ninjas in the village are not strong. But no matter how weak the strength is, where can it be weak? The weakest is also the level of Shinin, and it happens to be a match for Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke. Therefore, the battle between the Naruto team and the Kahara ninja is fierce. Naruto uses the shadow avatar to contain harassment, Sasuke is the main attacker of hidden weapons and ninjutsu, and Sakura focuses on making up the knife. The cooperation between the 3 rooms is a tacit understanding that has never been seen before. Perhaps this is the tacit understanding inspired by life and death. In this way, the 2 sides began to fight inextricably. As for Qin Yu, he was in another place, engaged in other battles. "FK me, kill him." In that mysterious basement, Kazuo Ishikawa looked at Qin Yu in front of him, commanding the humanoid weapon in the cage. The humanoid weapon is the village name of Kahara village. After Ishikawa Kazuo's human experiment, these village names have become different. There was only madness in the eyes of the humanoid weapon, and there was no pain. At the same time, it was very powerful. Seeing the humanoid weapon rushing towards him, Qin Yu was silent. From the system space, the Thunder God sword was taken out. Stabbed. The silver arc flickered around the sword body, bursting into bursts of noise. Holding the Thunder God's sword and his figure flickering, Qin Yu started his own battle. Thump. The humanoid weapons were killed by Qin Yu with a sword one after another, and they fell to the ground one after another. From the initial excitement, Kazuo Ishikawa slowly began to be dissatisfied, and finally turned into anger. You dare to ruin my results, I want you to die. Seeing that the humanoid weapon he had worked so hard to study for so long was destroyed by Qin Yu, Kazuo Ishikawa was furious except for rage. Seeing that the last humanoid weapon was about to be destroyed, Kazuo Ishikawa couldn't help it anymore. Water Escape Water Dragon Bomb. As soon as the Water Dragon Bomb was formed, a man from Ishikawa controlled it and rushed straight towards Qin Yu. After Qin Yu solved the last humanoid weapon, he saw the Water Dragon Bomb that was already in front of him. The Eternal Kaleidoscope opens instantly. Suzuo can be opened instantly. With a boom, the Water Dragon Bomb hit Suzuo Nohu. Suddenly, a burst of smoke filled the place of the explosion. Because of the impact of the explosion, the basement shook, the top began to shatter, and rocks fell one after another. Here will be used as a cemetery for you. Kazuo Ishikawa thought he had solved Qin Yu with a trick of water escape ninjutsu, and suddenly became arrogant again. "You, a bit too much nonsense." Qin Yu's voice came out through the smoke, and Ishikawa was stunned for a moment. You're not dead. Since you are not dead, then go to die. Lay done Thunder Needle. A man from Ishikawa made a seal on his hands, and the thunder light flickered, and thunder needles appeared around him. The thunder needle is sharp, with wisps of thunder light, and its destructive power is extraordinary. Give me to die. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Pushing with both hands, the thunder needle took the thunder light and shot towards Qin Yu. Advertisement. Thunder done Thunder Armor. Qin Yu put away Suzuo Nohu, his body's thunder attribute chakra boiled, and a set of thunder and lightning armor emerged from his body. As soon as Qin Yu's lightning armor appeared, Kazuo Ishikawa's lightning needle had already arrived in front of him. As soon as the violent lightning needle came into contact with the same violent lightning armor, a violent neigh broke out. In the blink of an eye, the lightning rod was reversely destroyed by the more violent lightning armor. Although it is also Thunder Dungatsu ninjutsu, Qin Yu's Thunderbolt armor is a famous ninjutsu in the ninja world. In the ninjutsu world, this ninjutsu is called the strongest shield. Such a ninjutsu, how can a small lightning needle ninjutsu be destroyed? How come? Ishikawa Kazuo obviously didn't believe that his ninjutsu could be so vulnerable. This thunderbolt ninjutsu, but his own special skill. When I was still a Konoha ninja, I encountered any tricky enemies on missions, as long as the lightning rod came out, it would be easy to solve. Therefore, Kazuo Ishikawa is very confident of this ninjutsu. Seeing that his most confident ninjutsu is so unbearable now, Kazuo Ishikawa inevitably refuses to believe it. Originally my mission was to arrest you, but after seeing what you did, I gave up this idea. I decided to send you a humanoid weapon to accompany you. This is Qin Yu's most real feeling now. Seeing Kazuo Ishikawa perform this heinous human experiment, Qin Yu had already sentenced him to death in his heart. When Kazuo Ishikawa saw that his ninjutsu was not effective on Qin Yu, he turned around in a panic and ran away. Thunder done thousand birds sharp spear. Thunder and lightning gathered in Qin Yu's right hand, and then condensed into the shape of a lightning spear. Controlling the thunder and lightning spear with his right hand, it pointed at Kazuo Ishikawa who was running away, and burst out suddenly. With a swish, the thunder and lightning spear suddenly stretched, and instantly penetrated Ishikawa Kazuo's body. With a sound of, wow, Kazuo Ishikawa turned into a mass of water stains. It was obvious that this was a water body just now. Gripped the Chidori sharp spear in his hand, sweeping the entire basement. Bang! A series of cutting explosions sounded, and a figure appeared in a hurry to dodge. Damn Konoha ninja, you forced me. Ishikawa, a man with an abominable face, took out a tube of green injection from his arms and pierced it on his body. What? Kazuo Ishikawa hugged his head with a savage face, rolling frantically on the ground. It's over. Qin Yu aimed at Kazuo Ishikawa, and the Chidori sharp spear extended again. At this moment, a man from Ishikawa suddenly rolled around and escaped Qin Yu's sharp spear. With a poof, the Chidori sharp spear pierced the ground. Go to hell. Lay done super fast thunder needle. Water escape the water dragon burst. At this time, Kazuo Ishikawa is no longer a human being, but his aura is much stronger than before. One after another, lightning rods emerged quickly. Not only were there more lightning rods than just now, but they were also larger in shape and more destructive. As soon as the ultra-fast lightning needle was completed, it quickly lost in the direction of Qin Yu. Afterwards, a water dragon formed by a water escape circled and roared, and it also rushed towards Qin Yu. Obviously, Kazuo Ishikawa is already doing his best to perform ninjutsu. Rumble. The basement collapsed more quickly. Large or small stones fell scattered from the top of the head. But Kazuo Ishikawa completely ignored him, he just stared closely at Qin Yu's direction. He just wanted to know whether this man was dead under his full blow. Chapter 17. Leave. Advertisement. Prickly. Thunder rang out. With a swish, the Chidori sharp spear suddenly appeared and pointed it at Kazuo Ishikawa's chest with great precision. Ishikawa Kazuo, who was too late to react when he saw the sudden appearance of the Chidori spear, was pierced in an instant. Thump. His body was pierced by a sharp spear, and Kazuo Ishikawa died on the spot. Qin Yu scattered the Chiandori sharp spear and walked slowly towards Ishikawa Kazuo's corpse. After mentioning the mission goal, Qin Yu left. As soon as Qin Yu left, the basement completely collapsed with a bang. Sasuke. Naruto yelled at Sasuke. Art fire escape ho fireball. Sasuke also knew what Naruto meant, and it was just a move that the fireball quickly flew towards Naruto. With a bang, the fireball hit Naruto. At the same time, it hit a ninja from Kahara village behind Naruto. With a bang, Naruto was hit by a fireball and turned into a white mist. It was obvious that this person was a shadow clone. As for the Kahara Mura ninja in the back, he was sturdy and hit a fireball. The whole person lost the ability to move and fainted directly lying on the ground. A Kahara ninja was resolved, and the pressure on the three of them suddenly became much less. Lei dun Chidori. Kakashi seized the gap for a while, and thunder and lightning gathered in his hand to form a blade. With a swish, Kakashi suddenly exerted his force and rushed towards the head of the village Shangjing. Damn Konoha. Why are you here? Seeing Kakashi close at hand, Mayor Yui was also crazy. The chakra in his body madly injected the long sword in his hand, and waved to kill Kakashi with all his strength. Clang. Kakashi's left-handed Kuwugong, a long sword that held Wii, was cut into two pieces. Although Kuwu slowed down the strength of the long sword was still cut down. The sharp sword cut into Kakashi's shoulder easily. Puff. At the same time, the palm formed by Kakashi Chidori has penetrated Yui's chest. The powerful thunder and lightning power permeated Shangjing's body, and instantly led him into the abyss of death. With a plop, Shangjing fell to the ground. Enduring the pain, Kakashi pulled the sword from his shoulder, sweating profusely in pain. Taking something to stop the bleeding from the ninja bag, he simply stopped the injury on his shoulder. Ms. Kakashi, are you all right? Naruto rushed to Kakashi's side with Sasuke and Sakura, and asked worriedly. There are only two ninjas in Kahara village, and Naruto is much easier to solve. Only then did the battle end as soon as possible and came to Kakashi's side. Retreat quickly, if you want to leave for a while, maybe you won't be able to leave. Seeing that the three were all right, Kakashi was relieved a lot. Hurry up, the ninjas from this village have already rushed over. It is estimated that there should be 30 or 40 ninjas. Qin Yu appeared suddenly, holding the half-man and half-ghost Kazuo Ishikawa in his hand. This is. Looking at the person Qin Yu was holding in his hand, Kakashi asked in confusion. This is the goal of your mission, but he himself injected himself with experimental potions, and he turned into this half-human and half-ghost look. Seeing Kakashi's doubts and surprise, Qin Yu opened his mouth to explain. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Hurry up, they are coming. Advertisement. Qin Yu took the lead and left with Kazuo Ishikawa's body. It wasn't that Qin Yu was afraid of these ninjas, but it was mainly because the people around him had many eyes and many methods were inconvenient to use. Therefore, in order to avoid accidents, Qin Yu could only choose a more secure retreat. Kakashi took Naruto and Sakura, and quickly followed in Qin Yu's direction. After turning left and right, everyone escaped from Kahara village. Let's leave the area of Kahara village first, I will treat the wound first, and then rush back to Konoha to report the situation here to Hokage. Qin Yu sealed the body of Kazuo Ishikawa into a ninja scroll and handed it to Kakashi. Afterwards, Kakashi and his party left. Afterwards, according to the previous plan, the group hurriedly met Konoha. When I returned to Konoha, everyone looked tired. Of course, Qin Yu was not tired, it was all because of boredom. After returning to Konoha, Kakashi went to the Hokage office, while Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura went home to rest. As for Qin Yu, he went to see what Hina was doing and continued his plan to deepen his feelings. At noon the next day, the 7th class meets. Kakashi's face was dark, looking at one by one only now, the whole person was not looking good. Because Kakashi is often late, everyone knows Kakashi, the late king. Therefore, the 7th class now gathers by pinch of time. But they would never have thought that Kakashi would come so early today. In a few days, it will be the Zongnan exam. As long as it is the Shinin, you must take it. Of course, you can't endure the exam. Ninjas from other villages will also come to take the Zongnan exam. So you have to perform well in the Zongnan exam and show off Konoha's demeanor. Listening to Kakashi's hearty speech, Naruto boiled. Sakura looked at Sasuke like a nympho, as if she didn't listen at all. Sasuke smiled coldly, not knowing what he thought of. Qin Yu shook his head speechlessly, thinking that these young people were too good to cheat. With Kakashi's chicken soup for the soul, these people ignited. Doesn't he have any points for his own strength? Although Qin Yu was speechless, he did not reveal or dispel their positivity. Teacher Kakashi, don't be late during this time. I want to train myself. I want to beat everyone on the Zongnan exam. Naruto didn't know what was wrong, so he became arrogant. There were smiles on his face, as if he had become the ultimate winner of the Zongnan exam. Moron. Sasuke couldn't help but say something when he saw Naruto's appearance. In this regard, Kakashi did not say, but quite agrees. The champion will only be Sasuke. Naruto, you think too much. Sakura couldn't help but cheered for Sasuke first. When Kakashi said that he was speaking to Naruto and the others when he took the Zongnan exam, he actually wanted to tell Qin Yu. Seeing Qin Yu shook his head helplessly there, Kakashi was also taken aback. Does he know what I mean? Impossible. If you know what I mean, why would you shake your head? A series of doubts hovered in Kakashi's heart, but it was difficult for him to ask directly. He sighed and ignored it. Let everything go with the flow. After the crowd disbanded, only Naruto was beaten up with chicken blood, and the others were the same as usual. But no one knows whether they secretly conduct special training by themselves. After all, everything is unspoken. Chapter 18. What size are you guys? Advertisement. Qin Yujun, where are you going? Qin Yu pulled Ino with a shy face, walking on the streets of Konoha. Hehe, let's go to Hinata's house and find Hinata to hang out with. Qin Yu spoke upright, as if simply wanting to find someone to hang out with. But whether or not I think so in my heart, I don't know. Humph. Hearing this, Ino suddenly puffed his face, obviously a little unhappy. Hey, don't be like this, Hinata and you are both good sisters. Seeing Ino's posture, Qin Yu was delighted. Reaching out and touching her head as if comforting, Qin Yu's face was full of smiles. Qin Yu's sudden slaughter made Jing Yi shy. His cheeks were flushed because of his shyness, and Ino quickly lowered his head. The unhappiness just now disappeared, as if I had never been unhappy just now. All that was left was shyness and joy. Obviously, Qin Yu's head-to-head killing worked well. After that, Qin Yu led Ino to the gate of the Hyuga family. When Qin Yu and Ino first arrived at the gate of the Hyuga family, they saw Hinata already waiting at the gate. Beside Hinata, there was a young girl in an orange kimono. Qin Yu slightly guessed that this should be Hinata's younger sister, another little princess of the Hyuga family, Hyuga Huahuo. Hinata. Qin Yu waved at Hina Tien from a distance, and said hello. Hinata. The moment he saw Hina Tien, Ino quickly took his hand from Qin Yu's hand and waved with Hina Tien in a panic. Obviously, he felt ashamed of being held by Qin Yu. Qin Yujun. Ino. Chu Tien walked towards Qin Yu with the fireworks. Who is this? Qin Yu pretended not to know the girl behind Hina Tien, and asked. Hello Qin Yujun, my name is Hyuga Huahuo, sister Hinata's sister. Huahuo is different from Hinata, her character has always been relatively straightforward. And she is also different from Hinata's always shy character, her character is relatively brave. You are so fireworks, you are exactly the same as Hinata said. Not only are they good looking, but they are also relatively straightforward. As soon as Qin Yu met, he hurriedly came to praise, just to leave a good impression. And this flattery, Hinata, as Huahuo's sister, will only admit that it will not be dismantled. Oh, is that true, sister? Huahuo looked at his sister with disbelief, obviously not quite convinced that it was her sister. Even so, his first impression of Qin Yu was obviously much better. Everyone is here, let's go to Liuhu together. Qin Yu took the lead and walked towards Konoha's Liuhu with Ino, Huahuo, and Hinata. Liuhu is a relatively quiet place in Konoha. But at the same time, it is also a place with a better view of Konoha. Why is the scenery here as good, and it's still quiet with no one? The reason is simple. Ninja, usually not busy with tasks, come back and rest, who still has time to come out to play. Common people, usually busy asking for a living, who has time to come here to play. In summary, almost none came here to play. After Qin Yu and his party came to Liuhu, they began to divide the work. Ino is responsible for catching fish in the lake, Hinata catching animals, picking and splitting timber with fireworks. As for Qin Yu, he was lying on the side with the old god, and he said that I will be in charge of barbecue for a while, and you will be in charge of eating. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. I'll recharge my energy first, and then I'll fight the barbecue fiercely for a while. Advertisement. For this, Ino and Hinata certainly have no problem at all. As for fireworks, I was curious about Qin Yu's barbecue technique. In a while, everything was alive. Qin Yu looked at the three of them, he smiled, and said, why don't you go swimming first, I'll cook for a while and call you. Ino and Hinata looked at each other, their faces blushing slightly. Even Wahuo's face turned red, obviously not as embarrassed. What's happening? Qin Yubian began to prepare for the barbecue, watching the three of them motionless, and asked in confusion. Hinata lowered his head shyly, and Ino changed his previous big leap, just like Hinata. The only difference is the fireworks. Although shy, he said directly, I don't know if you are coming here and you have to swim. I didn't bring a swimsuit. Qin Yu's mind snapped for an instant, and then he woke up. Looking at the three people in front of them with smiles, they said, oh, you don't have to say it earlier. I will ask my clone to buy it for you, what size do you all have? Qin Yu said with a righteous expression, as if he was just helping them buy things and had no other thoughts. When the three women heard this, they were taken aback for a moment. After that, the shame on his face turned to the root of his ears. The three obviously didn't expect Qin Yu to say so. No. No need, I can just go by myself. Ino hurriedly waved his hand and left first. Although Hinata didn't speak, he proved it by his own actions. Following Ino's pace, he rushed out, leaving Huahuo alone. Sister, wait for me. Seeing her sister Hinata had gone, Wahuo hurried to catch up. Originally, she didn't want to swim, but when she saw that her sister was like this, she had to follow. In the blink of an eye, the three women returned with their handbags. Go and play, I'll call you guys when it's baked. Qin Yu was busy working on the barbecue, but he still raised his head and looked at the three women. After hearing the words, the three women walked toward the lake with a difficult step. Although Hinata is shy, it doesn't matter if he thinks that only Ino and his sister are here anyway. As for Qin Yujun, although he is very shy, if it is him, that should be fine. With this belief in mind, Hinata hid on the rocks next to the lake to change clothes, and then jumped out of the lake. There is also Ino who thinks like Hinata. The two went down to the lake to swim and play, but the fireworks remained a little bit too much. Gradually, Hinata and Ino started playing in the water. The fireworks come down quickly, it's so fun in the water. Hanahuo, help me, Ino always bullies me. The two hurriedly shouted fireworks and asked her to come down and play together. Seeing that the two of them were going crazy while playing, Wahuo shook his head helplessly. He gritted his teeth and went behind the stone, changed his clothes and jumped out of the lake. While grilling, Qin Yu looked at the three girls who were having fun in the lake, with a faint smile on his face. This kind of life is actually pretty good. It's very comfortable and happy. Qin Yu said with feeling. Obviously, he feels very good about this scene at this moment. Changpu, didn't you say that you are busy with business in the store today and don't have time to come out? Qin Yu was puzzled when he saw the calamus that suddenly appeared with his handbag behind him. He also invited Changpu before, but Changpu said the shop was busy and didn't come. Unexpectedly, it suddenly appeared, which surprised Qin Yu somewhat. Chapter 19. System Explosion. Advertisement. Changpu blushed, clutching his handbag tightly, and opened his mouth, but didn't know what to say. Forget it, since it's here, let's play together. Look, the equipment is ready. Qin Yu looked at the handbag in Changpu's hand, and said with a smile. Changpu was ashamed of it with the handbag covering his face, and hurried to change his clothes. Obviously, Qin Yu's molesting just now was very lethal. After the calamus came down to the lake, the three women were silent for a while. After a while, the four girls started playing again. Qin Yu smiled and shook his head, remembering what a celebrity had said before. A woman is a very wonderful animal, and it usually only takes a short sentence to establish a friendship between them. For this sentence, the former Qin Yu could not understand at all. However, today he has understood. Thanks to me who I used to choose the profession of chef, so that I can continue to shine in this world. Qin Yu thanked him a little bit proudly and thanked him for choosing such a promising career. In a short while, under Qin Yu's operation, a lot of barbecue has been cooked. In order to keep the barbecue from getting cold, Qin Yu piled up a separate heat-preserving barbecue pile, and put the grilled barbecue over there. Looking at the already large amount of barbecue, Qin Yu felt that there should be enough to eat, and then came down. Listening to the noise of the 4 women in the lake, Qin Yu laughed wickedly. Picking up a stone from the ground, he wrote the space ninjutsu charm of Flying Thunder God. Using Uchiha's precise hidden weapon technique, Qin Yu threw the stone into the lake. As the stone fell into the lake, Qin Yu disappeared in front of the barbecue pile. In the lake, Qin Yu's figure suddenly appeared. The figure shook, only a pair of pants remained. And this situation, the 4 girls playing happily in the lake did not notice at all. At this time, Qin Yu felt 2 white thighs swimming over his head. The body shook, and the whole person swam quickly like a fish. Qin Yu didn't know who it was, so he picked her up when he sent it up. What? The loud screams of the fireworks suddenly sounded. Obviously, the person Qin Yu picked up at random was Wahuo. Grow your eyes. Bagua 64 palms. Ninjutsu, the art of turning the heart. Hearing the screams of the fireworks, Hinata and Ino reacted instantly, mastering ninjutsu. What? As soon as Ino used the ninjutsu of the mountain clan, he knew who was in the water and screamed in surprise. Before Hina Tien had time to see who it was, the gossip and 64 palms had already been beaten out. Suddenly, the lake was turbulent, with waves rolling in layers. Don't do this. Qin Yu dodged and quickly exposed his head to the surface of the water. What? 4 screams sounded at the same time, and Hinata, Ino, and Iris hurriedly dived into the water. Huahuo broke away from Qin Yu's arms with hot body, and quickly dived into the water. Hee, are you going to get into the water? With a plop, Qin Yu got into the water when he turned the salted fish over. A trick to hide and seek in the water instantly opens. Qin Yu frolicked with everyone in the water and ate up everyone's tofu. Finally, after everyone got tired of playing, they went to the lake one after another. After hurriedly changing their clothes, the 4 girls fled to the barbecue pile together blushing. Snoring. Read more at hotmtl novel.zi. Shenku's stomach started to protest, apparently she was also hungry. Advertisement. Eat. After playing for so long, I'm probably tired, try my craft. Qin Yu suddenly appeared in front of the barbecue pile wearing his pants and looked at everyone with a grin. Qin Yujun, you haven't worn your clothes yet. Everyone blushed and bowed their heads. Only Huahuo looked at Qin Yu and said Nuo. It's okay, it's okay. The most important thing is, try my craft. Snoring. Kahuo, Hinata, and Ino's stomachs rang one after another, and they were obviously hungry too. You try them one by one, is it because I didn't make it delicious, so I didn't dare to eat it? Hearing what Qin Yu said, Hinata hurriedly raised his head and said, no. Ino also looked up and said, no. Shenku said straightforwardly, then I'm not welcome. The calamus took the lead, and everyone ate it. When I started eating, I was crazy in an instant. The girls were holding them one after another with their hands and eating one after another with their mouths. They couldn't stop at all. Qin Yu was also taken aback as he watched the barbecue that was madly swept up in no time. Seeing that everyone's face was full of meaning, I continued to barbecue. At this time, they remembered how crazy they were just now. Even Qin Yu had not eaten it himself, so all 4 of him had eaten it. Seeing Qin Yu re-barbecuing in his pants, the 4 girls were a little bit more embarrassed while being shy. Sit down for a while. I'll bake. Let's help too. Seemingly embarrassed to sit and wait to eat, the calamus also helped out. Hinata, Huahuo, and Ino also started to learn from the sidelines. The 5 people are just like that, after the noise just now, plus the collective barbecue together now. Unconsciously, the relationship between the people became closer. Although Qin Yu would still be shy when he saw Qin Yu wearing pants, it was no longer the same as before. Instead, interaction began, and the relationship between each other was rapidly heating up. After eating and drinking, Qin Yu watched the sunset with the 4 girls. Afterwards, under the shining of Xingwei, they took the 4 girls back home. When Hina and Huahuo were finally sent home, Qin Yu led them home holding each other. Although shy to see them, there was no objection. I was even more secretly happy, feeling that today's social activities were really done right. After sending the 2 home, Qin Yu returned to his home alone. System sign in. Ding. Congratulations to the host for signing in to obtain the wooden escape of blood following the limit, ninjutsu, thousands of hands, topping the Buddha, ninjutsu, the wood dragon. Surprise. Shock. Accident. Qin Yu has an impulse to buy lottery tickets immediately and get rich. What day is it today? Signing in rewarded such an awesome blood inheritance in ninjutsu. I floated. I really floated. All the tail beasts, let the Lord get down. At this time, Qin Yu was really so surprised that he couldn't be by himself. Mu done. This is the most powerful blood inheritance boundary in Hokage. Coupled with his exclusive Mudden ninjutsu, Qin Yu can imagine how strong his current strength is. From now on, Xiao Yi, I can finally do whatever I want. With this excitement, Qin Yu couldn't stop. As a result, he couldn't sleep all night. When the next morning, he just fell asleep. Chapter 20, Responsible for Reception. Advertisement. Bang bang bang. Not long after Qin Yu fell asleep, a series of knocking on the door sounded. Qin Yu pretended not to hear, grabbed the quilt, covered his head, and continued to sleep. Seeing that no one had opened the door after knocking on the door for so long, the people outside also stopped and left. Until the afternoon, Qin Yu woke up from sleep. Bang bang bang. There was another series of knocks, and Qin Yu stepped forward to open the door. He wanted to see who was it early in the morning, always cleaning himself to sleep. Kakashi, what do you want to do if you don't sleep in the morning? Qin Yu yawned and went back to the room and toilet to wash his face and brush his teeth. Kakashi's face became stiff, apparently Qin Yu had been thundered. As he walked into Qin Yu's house, he complained in his heart. Go to bed early in the morning. What is the logic? What did you do last night? You need to sleep in the morning. Suddenly, Kakashi seemed to have thought of something, and asked with a dark face, are you at home in the morning? Qin Yu answered vaguely while brushing his teeth. Yes. Then I knock on the door, why don't you open the door? Several black lines clearly appeared on Kakashi's forehead. Sleep. Qin Yu rinsed his mouth and walked out of the toilet. Kakashi heard the words and let out a sigh of relief, calming down his urge to flatten him. Something wrong. Qin Yu was eating Hokage's unique instant noodles and looked at Kakashi while eating. This is for you. Kakashi took out a work permit from his forbearance bag, threw it to Qin Yu, and said, this is your work permit. Work permit. Qin Yu was confused. What's the situation? Work that fell from the sky. Seeing that Qin Yu was unclear, Kakashi said, in a few days there will be a ninja test. During this time, other ninjas from Ninja Village will also come to take the test. The content of your job is to receive these ninjas from Ninja Village, let them get acquainted with Konoha and avoid conflicts with Konoha. I won't do it. Before Kakashi finished speaking, Qin Yu directly refused. What? Kakashi stared at Qin Yu, and asked again and again, what did you say? Qin Yu shook his eyebrows, took a mouthful of instant noodles, and said I won't do it. Kakashi's face turned dark and said, this is Hokage's appointment, you have to refuse, go to Master Hokage. I am responsible for communicating. As soon as Kakashi finished speaking, the whole person disappeared. Obviously he didn't want to say anything to Qin Yu. Qin Yu ignored it and continued to eat instant noodles. While eating, he stared at the work permit with a smile in his eyes. Obviously he wants this work permit, but just now he deliberately d off Kakashi. Tamari from Sand Ninja Village. Phosphorus from Kushinen Village. Qin Yu muttered to himself, and then he laughed. After eating, Qin Yu went out. The destination is naturally Konoha's village entrance. As soon as Qin Yu arrived at the entrance of the village, he saw the ninja from Otonin village walk into Konoha's gate. A three-person team consisting of Jin, Toss, and Sak. Qin Yu ignored them and left on his own. The reception does not exist. I only receive people who I want. As for these people, do it yourself. And Qin Yu didn't believe that if he didn't accept it, no one would accept it. Being bored, Qin Yu went to Chenku's flower shop. Calamus. When Qin Yu saw the Calamus arranging flowers there, he secretly stepped forward and kissed her on the cheek as a greeting. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. What? Advertisement. Chenku was screamed by Qin Yu's sudden attack. After seeing that it was Qin Yu, his face suddenly turned red. In my heart, the deer slammed into chaos. Qin Yujun. Chenku shook his hands lightly and poured a cup of tea for Qin Yu. Qin Yu smiled, picked up the tea and drank it. Hello, anyone? At this time, a female voice rang at the door of Chenku's flower shop. Chenku got up and came to the door. Qin Yu turned to look at the door, and was taken aback. Red hair, red eyes, black glasses, isn't this the phosphorus that I was thinking about in the morning? With bright eyes, Qin Yu hurriedly got up and came to the door. Come in and sit down. Qin Yu was like the head of a family, inviting Xianglin into the house. Yeah, let's sit and chat. Chenku didn't object to this, and smiled and greeted the fragrant phosphorus to enter. Okay, although the current fragrant phosphorus is different from when I was a child, it has not changed much. When the three of them sat down, Qin Yu poured a cup of tea for Xianglin. Thank you. Xianglin thanked him. I don't know if there are tulips in your store. Phosphorus took a sip of tea and asked directly about the calamus. Tulip. Chenku frowned and thought for a while, and then said, you are not in a hurry. Tulips are not in the store now. If you are not in a hurry, I will go to other places. If you are in a hurry, I will give you a step up and think of a solution. Chenku considered very well and came up with two plans. Hearing this, Xianglin frowned slightly, and his eyes were slightly disappointed. I am in a hurry, I don't know when you will have it soonest. Xianglin looked at the calamus with hope in his eyes. When do you use it? At this time, Qin Yu suddenly interrupted to ask Xianglin. Tonight. So in a hurry. Chenku was taken aback for a moment, but he didn't expect that Phosphorus would be so anxious. She originally thought that Phosphorus would not be so anxious no matter how anxious it was. But I didn't expect this to happen. Just as Chenku wanted to apologize, Qin Yu asked again, may I ask, what do you want this tulip for? Xianglin looked at Qin Yu and Chenku, remembering that they had treated him well just now, so he didn't hide it. Today is my mother's death day, and tonight is his death day. I want to buy tulips to worship her. Chenku was stunned when he heard the words. I originally wanted to refuse to apologize, but I couldn't say it, so I could only look at Qin Yu beside him. Qin Yu's hand under the table gently grabbed the calamus, implying that everything is with me, don't worry. Shangku's face turned pale red, and he didn't resist, and his heart settled a lot. I know where there are tulips, but I need time. You can make an appointment. I will bring the tulips to you at night. Qin Yu looked at Xianglin confidently, giving her full of hope. Really, really. Seeing Qin Yu's affirmation, Xianglin's face showed a smile. Then the two agreed to meet in a dense forest in Konoha at night. Xianglin was sullen when he came, but happy when he left. In a blink of an eye, the evening arrived, and Qin Yu came to the agreed place with a dusty head and a mess. Xianglin saw Qin Yu's mess, and asked in confusion, "What's wrong with you?" Qin Yu chuckled, took out a large bunch of tulips from the forbearance bag and handed it to the fragrant phosphorus. Looking at the tulips with soil, aroma phosphorus seems to know something. Holding a tulip in his hand, he stared at Qin Yu in front of him. Chapter 21. Sand Shinobi 3 Xiaoqiang. Advertisement. Don't froze, the time is almost up, hurry up. Qin Yu stared at Xianglin stunned, and hurriedly urged her that it was late. Xianglin felt warm in his heart and bowed to Qin Yu, thanking him. Thank you. Turning around, he walked towards the simple spiritual position just set up next to him. Seeing what Xianglin looked like just now, Qin Yu's face was full of smiles, as if he had succeeded in trickery. Obviously all this is premeditated. It turned out that Qin Yu deliberately messed up his clothes, and the tulips were picked fresh, but it didn't take much effort. Don't forget that Qin Yu can fly Thor and pick a flower. It can only be easier than drinking water. How could he be so embarrassed? So, all of this is a routine. As the saying goes, since ancient times, affection can't be kept, only routine people's hearts. Qin Yu's move achieved 120% of the gains, which can be said to be full of gains. After the fragrant phosphorus worship, they sat next to Qin Yu, and the two started chatting. Slowly, Xianglin began to tell Qin Yu about her tragic life. Finally, while speaking, he fell asleep in Qin Yu's arms, with tears still in his eyes. Qin Yu sighed and gently wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes. In this way, the two spent a night in the forest quietly until the next day. As soon as Xianglin opened his eyes, what he saw was Qin Yu's haggard face. Thinking of sleeping in the arms of a man I just met last night, Xianglin's face suddenly became red and couldn't turn red anymore. I wanted to get up quickly, but I didn't know why I missed this feeling, so I didn't hold back and continued to lie down. Aha! At this time, Qin Yu yawned and woke up. Suddenly, his eyes looked at each other. Ah, sorry. Xianglin's blush was like an apple, and he quickly got up from Qin Yu's arms, his face full of shyness and panic. Oh, it's getting late. After getting up, Xianglin realized that it was late, and ran out in a hurry. However, after only 2 steps, he ran back. Thank you yesterday, I am the ninja Phosphorus of Kushan village. Xianglin hurriedly introduced himself to Qin Yu. I'm Konoha Ninja Uchiha Qin Yu. Qin Yu also introduced himself with a smile. At this moment, Xianglin boldly kissed Qin Yu's cheek suddenly, and then ran away. As he ran, he said, "This is yesterday's thank you gift." Qin Yu stared at Xianglin's sudden kiss, and smiled slightly. It seems that the prey has entered the net. After tidying up, after Qin Yu changed his clothes, he returned to the streets of Konoha refreshed. As soon as he arrived on Konoha Street, Qin Yu saw that the front was surrounded by a circle, and the sound was still very noisy. Qin Yu stepped forward and saw some acquaintances and some people who were looking forward to it. You hit someone, do you want to leave without apologizing? Tian is wearing a pink cheongsam, with 2 balls tied in his head. Tiantian stretches out his hand to stop the 3 people in Shannon village. These 3 people are the 3 Xiaoqiangs, Tamari, Konkuro, and Gara. Let's go. Gara, with a pair of dark circles under his eyes and a big gourd on his back, didn't have the chance to leave with Konkuro and Tamari directly behind him. Did you not hear what I said? It's getting angry every day, and my heart is full of anger. Not only do you not apologize when you hit someone, but you also drag you so much, you are going to heaven. While we are not angry, you leave quickly. Konkuro, with a pattern on his face and a puppet on his back, said disdainfully. Sand Ninja Village and Konoha Village were originally rivals, so Konkuro didn't have a good face when facing Konoha's ninja. You are deceiving too much. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Blushing every day, his right hand touched the ninja scroll he was carrying on his waist, and he meant to start a fight. Advertisement. Teju with yellow hair and a 7-star fan on his back, frowned and looked at Tiantian. She is not as careless as Konkuro and Gara. This is Konoha, not Sand Ninja Village, everything needs to be careful. Oh, how come the little crows and red pandas of Sand Ninja Village come to Konoha to bully people? And still bullying my girlfriend, isn't this a bit too much? Qin Yu walked out of the crowd with a slightly ridiculous voice of hooligans. Standing next to Tiantian, grabbing his little hand that touched the scroll. Qin Yu. Every day, he was caught in public, and he was said to be a girlfriend, so he was stunned for a while. Then he blushed and stared at Qin Yu with wide eyes. Obviously, what Qin Yu said just now was a bit difficult to accept. But when he thought that Qin Yu was also trying to help himself, he said that, so he didn't reveal it. What are you talking about? Who did you call little crow? Who did you call little panda? Konjuro pointed at Qin Yu with an angry expression on his face. Obviously, for Qin Yu's words just now, he has already substituted himself decisively. Therefore, anger is self-evident. You want to die. Gaara did not yell like Konkuro, but said lightly. As the voice fell, a cold murderous aura suddenly appeared. Feeling this sudden murderous aura every day, the whole body is cold. Qin Yu looked at Gaara with a smile, and stretched out his hand to gently pull Tiantian behind him. Being pulled behind by Qin Yu every day, he didn't feel cold, but rather warm. Gaara. When Temari saw Gaara's murderous intent, he immediately realized that it was not good, and stretched out his hand to grab Gaara's shoulder. Gaara's killing intent gradually diminished as he felt the shoulders being pulled by Temari. Get out of the way. Once Gaara does something, we can't stop it. Teju stepped forward and warned to Qin Yu. Obviously, she knew about Gaara's situation, and once she did it, it would really be irreversible. And she was also thinking about Qin Yu and Tiantian, and didn't want them to die for no reason. It's all right. Isn't it just a little civet cat? I'm fine. As soon as the civet cat exited, Temari and Konkuro on the opposite side were suddenly shocked. What does he mean by this? Does he know the identity of Gaara? Impossible. Gaara's identity is top secret, how could he know it? To be on the safe side, retreat first. Temari and Konkuro looked at each other's eyes and knew what the other person was thinking. Temari turned back and took Gaara, and Konkuro left. Obviously, he was surprised by Qin Yu's raccoon cat. She didn't want to reveal the identity and situation of Gaara. After all, Gaara is so special. This is not just the idea of Temari, even Konkuro, who has a bad temper, has the same idea. Seeing Sand Shinobi leave, the crowd of onlookers also dispersed. Thanks, thank you, Qin Yu. Everything was settled, and Tian remembered that Qin Yu was still clutching himself, blushing and thanking him. Qin Yu looked at Tiantian and said with a smile, "You're welcome, I'll just invite you to dinner." What? Every day? I froze, what's the situation? Isn't it normal that I invite him? Why should he invite me? Before he could understand, he was dragged away by Qin Yu. Chapter 22. A Plan in the Dark. Advertisement. Barbecue Q is still full of people as always. But who was Qin Yu? Quietly wrote the round eye illusion, and there was a gap in a moment. Every day I saw it, I was stunned. It turns out that the writing wheel is used in this way. Talking curiously every day, Qin Yu took him to the seat and sat down. Order whatever you like, I will treat you today. Qin Yu pushed the menu to Tiantian and motioned her to order. Tiantian's personality is cheerful, lively, and informal, so he picked up the menu and ordered it unceremoniously. After that, the two of them ate the table full of dishes. During the meal, Qin Yu also helped Tian wipe the food stuck to the corner of his mouth, making Tian's face red again. After that, the two of them spent the meal relatively happily. Finally, the two separated ambiguously. After the separation, Qin Yu saw that there was still some time, so he was ready to stroll around and go home. As a result, on the road, Qin Yu found the sneaky Otonin village ninja twos. Seeing Ta sneaky, Qin Yu followed curiously. As a result, he met an interesting person. That person is Lengjun Ocean Maru, known as Lengjun in the ninja world, one of the original 3 leaves of wood. Long black hair, long golden pupils, purple eyeshadow extending to the nose, pale skin, with blue goose-shaped earrings. Gives a sinister feeling. Report to Master Dashimaru, the plan is going on normally. Toss bowed halfway, his face full of awe. Okay, everything is up to you. Lengjun Dashiwan does not lose the name of Lengjun, and speaks with a cold feeling. Shulking snake hand. Dashiwan raised his left hand, and his arm instantly turned into dozens of white snakes, rushing in the direction of Qin Yu. Qin Yu knew that he must have been discovered. I wanted to fight against Oshimaru, but after thinking about it, let's forget it. He shattered the plan of Dashiwan ahead of time. How could he save Konoha by then? How could he improve his status and importance in Konoha? Therefore, for the sake of his own plan, Qin Yu could only bear it. With a move to fly Thunder God, Qin Yu decisively disappeared without a trace. With a bang, dozens of white snakes from Dashiwan bumped into the place where Qin Yu was hiding just now and made a noise. But nothing was found. Dashiwan was taken aback. Could it be his own illusion? I go first. Perhaps it was an illusion. Oshimaru thought so, and then left. Only Twos was still standing there. His back was full of sweat at this time. Obviously, I was shocked by Dashiwan just now. After the Oshimaru completely left, Toss was directly lying on the ground. And all this has nothing to do with Qin Yu. In other words, Qin Yu didn't know at all. And now Qin Yu came to Chenku's flower shop through the flying thunder god just now. Qin Yu suddenly appeared at the flower shop, and Chenku was shocked. The underwear that he was holding in his hand suddenly fell to the ground in fright. And his face turned red for a while, and the redness reached the back of his ears. Qin Yu suddenly understood. It turned out that the calamus was about to take a bath, but suddenly he appeared. Qin Yujun, how come you suddenly appear? He hurriedly picked up the underwear that fell on the ground and held it, and the calamus was flushed. Oh, I just missed you suddenly, so I will come to see you. Qin Yu talked casually. I have to say that this casual nonsense is sometimes quite convincing, especially for this kind of girl who has a good impression of herself. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. That lethality is really extraordinary. Advertisement. Yes, is it true? Of course it's true. Have you ever seen me lie? Qin Yu's nonsense was very smooth, and every sentence seemed true. I think you want to take a bath or wash together. Looking at Qin Yu Guo's eyes, Changku became hot. He rushed into the bathroom and closed the door. Obviously, she was already shy. I'm waiting for you to call me at your door. Qin Yu sat at the door of the Changku bathroom and said with a look of pig brother. At this time, there was a slight footstep on the roof. Qin Yu stood up directly, opened the bathroom door instantly and ran in. Seeing the depleted calamus, she wrapped her in a bathrobe without saying anything, and withdrew from the bathroom when she picked it up. Changku was taken aback by Qin Yu's operation and was about to scream. Qin Yu kissed her mouth, and Changku couldn't even scream when he wanted to. Don't talk, I heard footsteps on it just now. I'll take a look, you be careful. Qin Yu's face was serious, not as frivolous as before. Changku was taken aback and calmed down. Although shy, he didn't make a sound anymore. On the roof, a figure had just left, and Qin Yu had just arrived. Just seeing this figure leave, he followed silently. Until Konoha's hidden forest. The plan is to proceed as usual, and once the plan is opened, you all act according to the plan. Toss looked at the few figures in front of him with masks and black robes, and said seriously. Everyone nodded one after another, saying that there was no problem. I'm coming. Zack arrived at this time, a little apologetic to Toss. It turned out that the one on the roof just now was this Zack. Twos didn't care about so much, so he let the black robe go away and prepare for each. Well, how are you preparing for the arrangements for the adults? Everything has been arranged, and everything is just waiting for the Zongan exam to start, and the plan can proceed normally. Toss nodded satisfied with Zack's answer. By the way, my lord explained the new mission plan. After that, Toss confessed to Zack. After explaining to play, he took out 3 scrolls from the shinobu bag at his waist. This is. Zack looked at the 3 scrolls with a puzzled face. This is the psychic scroll. They are 10,000 snakes, wind falcons, and giant centipedes. Zack listened to Toss' introduction and looked at the 3 psychic scrolls in his hand in shock, his face full of inconceivability. On the day when the plan started, these 3 scrolls were opened in 3 places of Konoha and psychic beasts were channeled out. All the adults have already explained it. You only need to channel out the psychic beast, and the task will be completed. Do you understand it? Zack took the psychic scroll and nodded seriously. After all the explanations were over, the 2 left separately. Obviously, they all have their own things to do. After the 2 left, Qin Yu showed up and walked out. Looking at the 2 leaving, Qin Yu smiled slightly. It feels really exciting. Nin exams, Oshimaru, Senjukuma, suddenly I will be looking forward to it. Qin Yu was a little excited. After all, they are all real celebrity powerhouses in the Naruto world. Chapter 23. The Chunin test begins. Advertisement. When Qin Yu returned to Changku's house, Changku was still wrapped in a bath towel and hid quietly. Seeing Qin Yu appear, he breathed a sigh of relief. After all, during this period of time to take the Zongan exam, there are now some ninjas from each village in the village. So Changku was also afraid, would the ninja on the roof just now be the ninja from other villages? After all, it is not Konoha's ninja, and no one knows whether ninjas from other villages will dare to mess with Konoha. Never mind. Qin Yu picked up the calamus, hugged her and patted her back gently. Okay. In Qin Yu's arms, Changku finally relaxed. Suddenly, she seemed to realize that she was naked now, and her whole body suddenly stiffened. Woo. At this time, Qin Yu suddenly kissed the calamus, and the 2 began to fall into a beautiful long kiss. Bang bang bang. A knock on the door suddenly sounded, and Changku was startled and hurriedly pushed Qin Yu away. The bath towel on his body slipped, and Changku was exposed in front of Qin Yu. Hastily grabbed a bath towel to cover his body, hurriedly ran into the room and closed the door with extreme shame. Feasting his eyes, Qin Yu walked to the door and opened the door. Fragrant phosphorus, why are you here? Seeing Xianglin standing shyly at the door, Qin Yu looked confused. Obviously he didn't know what Xianglin was doing suddenly at this time. Qin Yujun, tomorrow is the Zongan exam, I don't know if you will take it. Qin Yu smiled and touched his head when he heard the words. As Konoha's ninja, I definitely want to participate. I remember you are also a contestant, and you have to work hard. Xianglin nodded with a flushed face, and said, then Qin Yu, you have to come on. After speaking, he ran away. Qin Yu's hand was directly in the air. Seeing Xianglin who had just run away, he shook his head and closed the door again. Changku, open the door and let me in. Qin Yu came to Changku's door lightly. He wanted to open it quietly, but found that the door was locked. Qin Yujun, it's late, you should go back and rest first, and you will have an exam tomorrow. The voice of Calamus came out of the room, and the voice was intermittent and shy. Ah, isn't it? Qin Yu's face was full of disappointment. At this time, the door of the room opened with a bang, and Changku gave Qin Yu a kiss on the cheek, and then hurriedly closed the door again. This is to encourage you to get good results in the Zongan exam tomorrow. The voice of Calamus came out of the room again, and the voice was a little weak. But Qin Yu heard it really. In addition to the sound of Calamus, Qin Yu also heard the heartbeat of Calamus beating violently. Okay, then I'll go first, and you should also pay attention to rest. With a slight smile, Qin Yu cast Fei Lei Shen to leave. After hearing no movement outside the door, Changku opened the door, blushing in a daze. When Qin Yu returned home, he realized that it was already late. System, I want to sign in. Ding. Congratulations to the host for signing in to get the reward of Asura's origin and the peak state of the immortal human body. Froze. Qin Yu now has just one word. Frozen. Asura origin, everyone knows this is the origin of the pillars. As long as Qin Yu gains Indra's origin again, then he will be able to obtain the reincarnation eye through the two origins. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. With the eyes of reincarnation, there is a chance to open the six-way mode and become a new six-way immortal. Advertisement. As for the peak of the immortal human body, this is really awesome. This is the physique of Shinshuju Jian, and it is still at its peak. To know that at the peak of Senjujutsu, his ninjutsu can be called forbidden. It is impossible to perform these ninjutsu, which can be called a forbidden technique, without the support of the equivalent chakra. And this immortal human body is the pillar that supports Senjujuzuma's squandering again and again. You know, Senju Junma and Uchiha Madara in their peak period fought in the Suimaran Valley. That one was earth-shattering, more intense than the battle between the tail beasts. It is conceivable that the power of ninjutsu at that time, the use of chakra would be so huge. And now the peak of the immortal human body, with Qin Yu's encouragement, should be the peak physique at the end of the valley between Shinshuju. In other words, he doesn't need to worry about chakra from now on. Use as you want, there is no problem of lack of blue. Thinking of this, Qin Yu became excited again. Chunin test, I'm here. Ninja test competition venue. The first is a written test. Qin Yu sat in the former classroom with a face full of helplessness. The written test turned out to be another written test. But I'm not afraid, Xiao Yi, I have a writing wheel. At this moment, a tall man with scars on his face walked in. My name is Morino Ibiki, this time the invigilator. After a brief introduction to the rules of the written test, Morino Ibiki sent out the test papers. After everyone got the test papers, they began their own journey. Qin Yu looked at everyone's cheating methods and exclaimed that they were wonderful. I really responded to a sentence, the 8 immortals cross the sea, this is all showing their magical powers. Hinata blanked his eyes and copied the answers openly, not nervous at all, and looked at whoever he wanted to see. Ino is also old and powerful, and the secretary of the mountain clan always looks at whoever wants to see. Except for a few special existences, it can also be said to be fearless. As for every day, good students don't have to copy. Naruto looked around, trying to copy but couldn't find anyone. Kozakura is the same as Tiantian, the good student does not explain. As for Sasuke, the writing wheel is open and he is copying. At this time, Qin Yu saw a trachoma, and actually leaned beside Xiaoying looking at his test paper. Take a closer look, it turned out to be Gaara's method, which is also clever. Qin Yu pinched both fingers, and a thunder needle appeared at his fingertips. With a smile, the thunder needle bounced towards the killer. With a "Chi," the trachoma burst silently. When Gaara shattered the trachoma, anger appeared in my heart, and I looked around to see who did it. Without seeing anyone, Gaara had no choice but to endure the anger in my heart and continue to play trachoma. When trachoma was just going out to take a peek, he was attacked again and disappeared silently. It seemed that Gaara had a problem with him, and Konkuro immediately controlled the puppet to send Gaara the answer. Then, as soon as the puppet arrived in front of Gaara, Qin Yu's thunder needle arrived. The puppet instantly disintegrated in front of Gaara and turned into pieces. At this moment, Gaara finally found out that Qin Yu did all this. Gaara stared at Qin Yu closely, with murderous intent in his eyes. Even Kanjuro stared at Qin Yu with anger. Chapter 24. Scroll Snatcher. Advertisement. Seeing the two men full of anger, Qin Yu spread his hands indifferently. Kanjuro and Gaara felt even more angry and murderous in their hearts when they saw Qin Yu's performance. Suddenly, Qin Yu spotted a small group of ninjas who were actually taking the exams properly. This is obviously something wrong. Sure enough, Qin Yu understood what was going on after watching it for a while. It turned out that there was a reflector lamp on the top of the classroom, and these people were looking at the answers of other students through the reflector lamp. With a soft cry of, dang, since some people even used hidden weapons. Just so that the reflector can turn to his direction, so that he can copy the answer. When someone starts, everything starts to change. I only heard a series of, ding jingle bells, and ninjas took action in all directions. Hidden weapons were flying all over the sky, and the reflector was shaking from left to right as if the medicine had been knocked. Qin Yu looked so excited, this exam was too exciting. As for the invigilator Morino Ibiki sitting on the podium, he closed his eyes as if he was asleep. Faced with the small movements of the people underneath, even the big movements were ignored. Qin Yu looked at it, and was almost stunned by the reflector. The right hand was a thunderbolt, and the bang directly destroyed the reflector. The sudden explosion made everyone stunned. Everyone looked at the last person who took the shot just now, and they all thought that the light would be destroyed by this person. Facing the angry gazes of everyone, this man also bowed his head in fear. But these little movements of Qin Yu, Morino Ibiki on the podium were quite clear. In fact, to be precise, it should be said that he knew all the small movements of the candidates present. Although Morino Ibiki had no expression on his face, he was also stunned by Qin Yu's operation. I can understand you for Shinobu, why did you blow up the reflector directly? Now not only the ninjas in other villages can't cheat, even Konoha himself can't cheat. Fortunately, most of Konoha's copy was almost done. Morinoe Bixie saw that the time was almost there, and then started to get up and take a strict grasp. At this time, most of the candidates have already accepted their fate. A small number of candidates were prepared to try to cheat, but were caught on the spot and disqualified from the exam. As for Qin Yu, he drew a monkey after writing his name on the test paper. When Marina Yibixi passed by Qin Yu's height, he was stunned when he saw his test paper. Your sister, you move so much, why are you still doing nothing? Moreover, you still have a writing wheel, and you are still in vain. You are obviously deliberate. Although Qin Yu was speechless, Morino Ibiki couldn't express it very well. After all, the candidates present were not all from Konoha, and there were also some from other villages. Once you are caught doing something wrong, it will still damage the reputation and image of the village. In this way, the first written test ended perfectly. Some candidates were eliminated during the first exam. Only 26 groups of contestants were able to successfully advance to the second exam, with a total of 79 people. The second test was an outdoor scroll grab. The 13 sky scrolls and 13 ground scrolls were randomly assigned to 26 groups of contestants who took the exam. And each group must gather a pair of heaven and earth scrolls, and then pass through the dead forest within 5 days, and reach the destination as a pass. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. As for how to pass the test and what happened in the process, everyone knows, but no one has explained. Advertisement. Because everyone knows that casualties are inevitable in fights between ninjas. Of course, these new generations of Konoha know very little. Qin Yu looked at Naruto and Sakura who were eager to try, and shook his head helplessly. With your strength, you are still eager to try, don't you have any tricks in your heart? I really don't know where you two are confident. Looking at the second pillar next to him, he still had that stinky face, which was obviously lack of social beatings. But the opportunity is here, you have to start your road of social beating. At the very beginning, Qin Yu followed Naruto. But after entering the dense forest, when the three of them were not paying attention, they immediately dazzled people. As soon as he rolled his eyes, he began to look at the whole forest. After figuring out the location of Hinata, Ino, and Tiantian, he directly attacked Fei Lei Shen and headed towards the nearest Hinata. When Qin Yu arrived, he discovered that a battle had started there. Qin Yu didn't step forward to intervene, but hid aside to take a look. After all, this is also an opportunity for training, and I can't help but let them practice. The two sides in the battle are the 8th squad of Konoha Yuhitori and the Maji squad of Shinobu. Hinata opened his eyes and cast a soft fist against Konkuro's puppet technique. Toga and Akamaru, this person and one dog jointly attacked Kaiju. As for Shino, he was hitting Gaara with his bugs. The three had a clear goal and each launched an offensive. However, apart from Hinata's ability to know Konkuro's puppet maneuvering actions and react with a white eye, Shino and Ka can almost be said to have regressed steadily. Sand Shield. In front of Gaara, the sand formed a shield to block Shino's poisonous insects. Sand Shiu. Afterwards, a pile of yellow sand sprang from the gourd, and the yellow sand flew into the sky, turning into a pile of sand needles, aimed at the three of Hina Tien. Konkuro and Tamari saw Gaara's sand Tosagir, and immediately got rid of their opponents and backed behind Gaara. The sand needle fell quickly, and the three of Hinata who beat them dodged and retreated. The needle is extremely powerful, and when it falls on the ground, it can shoot a hole in the ground. Wind escaped Sickle Ferret. As soon as the 7-star fan in Temari's hand unfolded, it slapped towards the three of Hinata. A huge gust of wind hit the three of Hinata. The three of Hinata were struck by the strong wind, and they were suddenly unstable. Coupled with the shot of the sand needle on the head, the three of them began to be injured more or less. At this moment, Konkuro on the side made a move. A puppet crow wrapped in bandages, under Konkuro's control, flew towards the flustered Hinata. The crow's arms were 2 weapons, and he waved his arms towards Hinata and slammed into it. The actions of the puppet crow were completely clear under Hinata's white eyes. When the crow's arms hit, she took advantage of the opportunity to use Hyuga's defensive skills, Huishin. Hinata swung his palm prints and turned, transforming the whole person into a high-speed rotating protective cover. Jingle bell. The strong wind of Tamari lost its effect, and Gaara's sand needle and Konkuro's puppet crow were also resisted by Huishin. Taking advantage of this moment, Shino and Ya pulled out their hands and killed the 3 Gaara. Chapter 25. I should shoot. Advertisement. Teeth through teeth. Ya and Akamaru began to spin, turning into 2 tornadoes that were spinning at high speed. 2 tornadoes rushed directly towards the Koji. Tamari didn't have time to counterattack, so he could only evade the attack of 2 tornadoes hastily. Secret technique summoning insect surge. Countless flying insects flew out in all directions, and the flying insects slowly gathered to form a huge insect tide. The tide of insects directly covered Gaara, Konkuro, and Tamari. Absolute defense. As soon as the worm tide appeared, Konkuro and Tamari looked aside and gathered in Gaara's direction. When the two came to Gaara's side, the all-round barrier made up of sand enveloped the three. Gaara in the absolute defense did not completely passively defend, but hid in the defense and launched an attack. Sandstorm waterfall. The sandstorm surged, and 2 sand pillars rose into the sky, turning into 2 huge sand arms. Sand's arms seemed to have eyes, and they grabbed at Hinata and Shino. Back to the days. Seeing Sand's arm coming towards him, Hinata quickly used it to return to the sky again. Secret technique insect tide defense. Countless small flying insects formed a shield in front of Shino, blocking Sand's arm. Hateful. Teeth through teeth. Seeing his teammates in crisis, Inuzuka's teeth gritted his teeth, and Akamaru once again turned into two tornadoes, rushing towards Sand's arm. Boom. The absolute defense dissipated, a new sand arm suddenly appeared, and the two tornadoes of Inuzuka and Akamaru were photographed on the ground with one palm. At the same time, Shino and Hinata were also caught by Gaara's sand arm. It seems that it has reached the limit, I should also make a shot. As soon as he finished speaking, Qin Yu's figure disappeared in the same place. Bang. Bang. After two explosions, Gaara's sand arm suddenly exploded and turned into flying sand. Qin Yu's figure appeared behind Hina Tien, reaching out his arm around her waist. Qin Yujun. Hina Tien looked at Qin Yu, who appeared suddenly, with blush on his face. Seeing Hina Tien's blushing face, Qin Yu couldn't help but kissed her on the cheek. Hinata was stunned, and all that followed was a blush. Even the roots of the ears are completely red. At this time, she was shy and indescribable. Obviously he did not expect that Qin Yu would actually do such a thing in the crowd. The flying sand in the sky fell, and everything returned to Kingming. It's you. Kanjuro saw Qin Yu at a glance, and immediately gritted his teeth. The giant palm of sand. Gaara is more direct, directly facing Qin Yu is a big move. A very large palm of sand gathered together and patted it towards Qin Yu. It seems that you resent me very much. Water escape water dragon bomb. Qin Yu hugged Hinata, casually using a trick of water escape ninjutsu. The huge water ball rushed straight towards the palm of Gaara's sand, and instantly destroyed the palm of sand. Sand itself is afraid of water, let alone the nature of ninjutsu. I love Luo Zhansha's giant palm is broken, but also furious. Coupled with the previous conflicts, and Qin Yu's actions in the first exam, Gaara's eyes were full of murderousness. Hinata, go and stand next to you first. Releasing Hina Tien's hand, Qin Yu smiled and looked behind Gaara. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. To be more precise, I was looking at the Tamari behind Gaara. Advertisement. Shino and Ya also took advantage of the opportunity just now and came behind Qin Yu. Seeing that Qin Yu broke Gaara's ninjutsu with a single move, the two of them felt quite settled. Gaara, let's go together. Kankuro controls the crow, ready to cooperate with Gaara's attack. Teju frowned. She felt that Qin Yu should not be as simple as mine. But the two people around him now are both his own younger brothers. In addition, she is still a ninja in a village, so she has no choice. After showing the 7-star fan, I came to Gaara's side. Don't hold me back. No matter who it is, Gaara has always been like this. Sand of absolute. Invasion of sand. In the gourd that Gaara was carrying, yellow sand flew out of the sky. The yellow sand fell to the ground, merged with the soil, and changed into two very huge sand arms. Crow, let's go together too. Under Kanjuro's control, the crow slayed directly towards Qin Yu very dexterously. All the organs up and down the body were opened, and the sharp blades covered the whole body. Seeing Gaara and Kankuro's full strength, the expressions of Gaga and Shino changed. Unexpectedly, their strength was so strong. Hee, it seems that I have to show off a little bit too. Susanna can be. The eternal kaleidoscope opens instantly. Suzuo Nohu opened a small part instantly. A huge right arm bone was revealed in front of Qin Yu, and the palm of the bone greeted the leading puppet crow. Not good. The moment he saw the skeleton's arm bones, Kankuro's face became extremely ugly. He didn't expect that Qin Yu would have such a perverted ninjutsu like Gaara. Boom. With a sound, the crow was squeezed by the right arm bone of Suzuo. Kanjuro looked at the puppet fragments on the spot with grief, blood dripping from his heart. At this time, the two sand arms of Gaara's invasion have also arrived. Bang! The two sand arms smashed into the bone arms, and a huge gust of wind broke out instantly. The violent wind blows violently on both sides. Wind escaped sickle ferret. Tamari waved a 7-star fan, and a huge gust of wind blew out, and the gust of wind that came to cancel each other out. Qin Yu released part of the Suzuo Nohu, and easily blocked the gust of wind. Little panda, it seems that your strength is still not enough. Qin Yu's pupil power strengthened again, and the originally evenly matched bone arm instantly began to crush the sand arm. With a bang, the sand arm was shattered by the bone arm and turned into yellow sand and fell. The bone arm turned into a palm without losing power, and it was a palm slap straight towards Gaara. Scythe Itachi. Tamari suddenly came in front of Gaara, waving a 7-star fan, and a violent wind patted the palm of the bone. The bone palm was slightly blocked by the storm, breaking through the storm's resistance. The storm broke. Tamari turned around and pushed Gaara away, pushing Gaara away. With a loud bang, the bone palm completely covered the Tamari. Kankuro looked at all this angrily, but was powerless. He hated himself so much for the first time, hated that his strength would be so weak. Gaara was stimulated by Tamari's movements just now. Gaara, who has always been indifferent and merciless, also fluctuates in his heart at this time. That is a feeling that has never been felt before, or this is the so-called affection. Anger and murderous intent began to interweave, and an unprecedented murderous intent began to wreak havoc in Gaara's mind. Chapter 26, Free Thugs. Advertisement. Little panda, don't act rashly. Qin Yu watched Gaara jokingly at the murderous intent, and slowly withdrew his bone palm. The bone palms are spread out, and Tamari is bound by the bone palms, unable to move. Seeing that Tamari was safe, Gaara resisted the urge to do it. Kanjiro glared at Qin Yu and said, "Let your hands go." Qin Yu looked at him. Xie smiled and said, "Why?" "You." Kan Julong pointed at Qin Yu, suddenly choked. "Yeah, why? I can't beat him. Let's talk about it. How can you release people?" Gaara changed his calmness and looked at Qin Yu calmly. "Fresh. I like the little panda like this." Qin Yu clapped and said, "If you want to redeem her, you can help me collect the Heaven and Earth scrolls. Gaara, Kankuro, you guys go quickly and ignore me." Although Tamari was restrained, it was not that he could not speak. Hearing Qin Yu's request, he suddenly screamed. Pop! With a crisp sound, Qin Yu's slap had already landed on Teju's hip. Everyone was taken aback, including Tamari himself. Tamari was embarrassed and angry. Being spanked in public, this kind of thing is too shameful, so shame that I am about to faint. Huh, not honest yet. Qin Yu's slap was raised again. This time Tamari is completely honest. Okay, I promise you, but don't hurt her. Gaara turned around and prepared to leave with Kankuro. Wait a second too. Gaara and Kanjiro stopped and turned to look at Qin Yu coldly. When you see these people, don't mess around, otherwise. Qin Yu threw a scroll to Kanjiro, and threatened his blushing and embarrassed Tamari. Go. Gaara gritted his teeth and left with Kankuro. From now on, you will be my captive. I treat captives preferentially, but if you want to run away or mess around, be careful that I slap my hands. Listening to Qin Yu's words about tiger and wolf, Teju was silent. With a pop, Qin Yu slapped again. The captive can't help but respond to me. Qin Yu was secretly refreshed. I know. Tamari whispered in shame. Obviously, he was also afraid that Qin Yu's slap would hit her again. Qin Yu, you are really good. Ya brought Kai Wan to Qin Yu's side, and gave Qin Yu a thumbs up. Thank you. Shino nodded faintly in thanks. As for Hinata, he is now in a state of shyness. I wanted to get close to Qin Yu in my heart, but shyly didn't dare to get close, so he could only stand with his head down on the spot. Let's go. There are still a few days left, take advantage of these few days to relax. Qin Yu put his hand on his left shoulder, came to Hina Tien, and took her hand. We won't bother you on dating, you guys have fun. He smiled, and left with Akamaru and Shino. Hinata froze when Ya talked about dating. Looking up at Qin Yu with a smile on his face, Hinata lowered his head again shyly. In this way, let Qin Yu go holding hands. Tamari buried his head deeply, lying motionless on Qin Yu's shoulder. Somewhere in the dead forest. Who is this person, and why is he so strong? Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all painted and panted. Sasuke, it's nice to meet you, but I have always wanted to call you. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Oshimaru looked at Sasuke with his pupils erect, eyes full of longing. Advertisement. That is the longing for Sasuke's body, but also the longing for Sasuke Shiranyan. The desire is deep in the eyes. Chiguo. Who are you? Sasuke stared at Oshimaru, frowning and asked. Sasuke had no impression of the person in front of him. Me. Dashiwan licked the corner of his mouth. My name is Dashiwan. Orochimaru. Sasuke is even more puzzled. Who is Oshimaru? For this person, why didn't he have the slightest impression? It's no wonder that Sasuke didn't know him. To say that the new generation, they shouldn't know this name. After all, Dashimaru belongs to the era of the fourth generation of Hokage. Sasuke, do you want to become stronger? Oshimaru saw the doubt in Sasuke's eyes, but did not explain it. Looking at Sasuke as fiercely as before. What do you want to do? Sasuke frowned. What the hell did this man mean? Appeared inexplicably, and then inexplicably said that it became stronger. I won't agree with what you want to do to Sasuke. Naruto stopped in front of Sasuke and stared at Oshimaru. His eyes are full of firmness, as well as the bondage to his partner. Naruto. Seeing Naruto's firm eyes, Sakura couldn't help clenching her fists. After taking a look at Sasuke, he also looked at Oshimaru. Obviously he agrees with what Naruto said just now. It's just that she doesn't have the firm belief and courage like Naruto. I just want you to know that if you need to become stronger and need strength, then you can come to me, I can make you stronger than ever. Dashimaru is very confident. He has sufficient confidence in the curse seal he has studied. Seeing Oshimaru's confident look, Sasuke was puzzled. Is what this person said is true? Could he really make himself stronger? The seeds of hatred in his heart suddenly took root, and Sasuke actually wanted to try. I know you won't believe it, but I will make you believe it. Shulking snake hand. Oshimaru turned into dozens of white snakes in his left hand, and the white snake spit out a snake letter and flew towards the three Naruto. The three only had time to kill a white snake each, and they were entangled and bound by the remaining white snakes. As soon as Oshimaru's figure moved, he came to Sasuke's front. Laugh. The white snake on Naruto and Sakura opened their mouths and bit down on them. Plop, plop. Naruto and Sakura fainted to the ground in succession. Let me first let you experience how powerful it is. Oshimaru seals in front of Sasuke, and his left arm turns into a big white snake again. The big snake opened its mouth and bit down towards Sasuke's neck. The black curse seal was injected into Sasuke's body through the big snake. Sasuke's consciousness appeared confused, and his eyes were covered with black. What? Sasuke's body was wrapped with a curse seal, and the blessing of the curse seal made Sasuke's power a lot stronger. With a bang, the white snake entwined with Sasuke was broken by him. Well, this force is much stronger than you were before. Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth, admiring Sasuke's current appearance with satisfaction. Sasuke can't speak in pain because of the curse seal invading his body. After breaking free from the shackles of the white snake, he half kneeled on the ground and panted. Finally, because he couldn't bear the pain, the whole person fainted. This thing can also be called strong. A disdainful voice sounded behind Dashimaru. Chapter 27. Cold Kun Orochimaru. Advertisement. Dashiwan turned around and looked at Qin Yu, who was disdainful, holding Hina Tien and holding his hands. There was a look of doubt among the erect pupils. You were talking just now. Dashiwan looked at Qin Yu in front of him with interest. Obviously, he didn't care about what Qin Yu just said. He always looked at the facts, because the facts would give them a slap in the face. Well, it's Xiaoyi. Qin Yu nodded and put down the tamari that was resisting on his shoulders. Tamari lowered his head and stood silently aside, not daring to speak. Oshimaru, why are you free to come to Konoha today? Is it because there is no plan? Qin Yu called out the name of Dashiwan as soon as he opened his mouth, making Dashiwan curious. Do you know me? Dashiwan licked the corner of his mouth. Do you know that you are strange? Qin Yu replied silently, he didn't expect Dashiwan to be so narcissistic. You are Lengjun Oshimaru, one of Konoha Sanin. Tamari, who had his head down, had already raised his head when he heard the name Oshimaru. Now seeing Dashimaru confessing his identity, the whole person is stunned. The boss with an open mouth is enough to lay an egg. Oh, you junior knows me too. Look at your forehead protection, it's from Sand Ninja Village. Oshimaru looked at Tamari with interest, obviously he didn't expect that the people in Sand Ninja Village would know himself. Hinata listened silently, and did not speak. But he also looked at Dashiwan, with all doubts in his eyes. Konoha Sanin, so to speak, is Konoha's ninja. Why have I never heard his name? If you don't run yet, Konoha knows you are coming, but he won't let you go. Boy, it seems you know a lot. But I want to go, Konoha is afraid I won't be able to keep me. You are so confident. Qin Yu grinned. I am immortal. Isn't it just relying on the curse seal to reincarnate continuously? Although the method is a bit disgusting, it is really the truth. Qin Yu also felt a little sick when thinking of Dashiwan's reincarnation method. It seems you know a lot, I want to take you away. Dashiwan licked the corner of her mouth, leaning forward slightly, ready to do it. Then it depends on your ability. Qin Yu was fearless. Now to be arrogant, there are only a handful of ninjas who can match him. Qin Yu, hurry up and send out the rescue, Dashiwan is stronger than Shangren. Fight him, you have no chance of winning. Tamari, who knew the origin of Dashiwan, explained to Qin Yu. I don't know why, she didn't want this hateful man in front of her to die. Qin Yujun. Hinata squeezed his fists nervously, obviously he didn't expect the strength of Dashiwan to be so strong. Will Qin Yu be in danger in the face of an enemy of this kind of strength? No chance. Qin Yu turned to look at Teju. Isn't it just a snake, where does it come from? Qin Yu turned his head, the writing wheel in his eyes began to bloom. Uchiha's people, no wonder you have such courage. Shulking snake hand. With a flick of Dashiwan's hands, dozens of white snakes rushed towards Qin Yu. Instant kill. The eye of the writing wheel turned into the shape of a four-cornered windmill. The white snake that had been running in the air suddenly broke off into several pieces and fell to the ground. This is the left eye ability of the kaleidoscope, which can displace the space and form a space killing. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, and it was done in an instant. It can be said that killing is invisible. Advertisement. Kaleidoscope writing round eyes. Unexpectedly, your eyes are already so strong. You won't only have this strength, then I will be disappointed. Seeing the surprised Dashiwan, Qin Yu smiled evilly. The array of 10,000 snakes. Dashiwan's mouth opened, his throat rolled, and countless white snakes sprang out of his mouth. Seeing this ninjutsu trick, Tamari and Hinata's face suddenly turned pale, and they were obviously disgusted. Instant kill. Bang. The white snake kept rushing out, and at the same time it was constantly being divided and dropped. For a while, the ground was full of snake corpses. So that's it, an instant kill formed by space chaos. Dashiwan stopped the release of ninjutsu and looked at Qin Yu with interest. Through just now, Dashiwan had already seen through Qin Yu's ninjutsu. That is a kind of space-time ninjutsu. This kind of ninjutsu is powerful and uncertain. Qin Yu was not surprised that Qin Yu could see the principle of ninjutsu so quickly with Dashiwan's knowledge and experience. After all, Oshimaru is very obsessed with ninjutsu, and the pursuit of ninjutsu is not a general fanaticism. If that's the case, then you can see how this trick is. Psychic art. Dashiwan bit his finger and patted the ground with his palm. With a bang, a huge snake appeared out of thin air. Dashiwan stood on top of the giant snake, looking at Qin Yu. 10,000 snakes, come on. As soon as one snake uttered a snake's letter, opened its huge mouth, he bit down towards Qin Yu. However, when it was about to bite down, it found that it couldn't bite. The 10,000 snakes who gave up the bite, raised the snake head again. How can it be so hard? I was about to complain about Dashawan, but suddenly I realized that something was wrong with the person in front of me. A huge half-length skeleton body suddenly wrapped Qin Yu. The skeleton body has only bones, no head, limbs, or lower body. What is this stuff? The serpent looked at the skeleton body in front of him curiously. It wanted to know what this was. Susanna, I didn't expect you to be able to use Susanna. Dashi Wan, who had always been calm, was also shocked at this time. He didn't expect Qin Yu to be able to use Suzuo Nohu. When he saw this trick before, it was not too long ago. At that time, it was Uchiha Itachi. Compared to Itachi's Suzuo Nohu, Qin Yu's current Suzuo Nohu was much weaker. As expected of Dashimaru, there is so much to know. Qin Yu's kaleidoscope at this time had become an eternal kaleidoscope, and the black six-pointed star replaced the four-cornered windmill. It seems that things are a little different. Dashimaru smiled, turned his head and looked in a direction next to him. It seems that they are coming soon too. With a bang, the psychic technique was lifted by the Oshimaru. See you next time. After Dashi Wan finished speaking, the whole person exploded and turned into white snakes and fled away. Qin Yu put away the eternal kaleidoscope, and Suzuo Nohu also dispersed. Don't wait for the next time, I will meet again later, Dashimaru. Qin Yu said self-consciously, turning around and came to the front of Hinata and Temari. Qin Yujun, the ninjutsu just now. Hina Tien was obviously shocked by Qin Yu's Suzuo Nohu, obviously he did not expect Qin Yu's strength to be so strong. Even Temari, who has always been calm, is no exception, with a look of surprise on his face. Chapter 28. Konoha Rebellion. Advertisement. Don't look at me like this, be careful, you will fall in love with me. Qin Yu's right hand fingers crossed his chin and looked at her with a smile. Temari's cheeks blushed, and he turned his head with a hum. Let's go. Qin Yu turned around to leave. Then they. Hinata was obviously relieved of the three Naruto people on the ground. Konoha's ninjas are coming soon too, don't worry about them. Qin Yu took Hinata and left with Temari. When the three people left, Konoha's ninja arrived. They are Midori Adzuki Beans, Hagi Kakashi, Morino Ibis. It looks like a trace of 10,000 snakes. Midori Adzuki Bean saw an obvious crushing mark on the ground, and guessed who it was just now. It seems that Dashimaru really slipped into the village. Kakashi looked around for a while, but I didn't find a trace of Oshimaru, and said, it should be left. Take these three people home first. Morino Ibiki hugged Naruto, Kakashi took Sasuke, Midori Azuki took Sakura, and the three left. As for Qin Yu, he took Hinata and Temari and walked slowly. Don't worry at all, Gaara is busy anyway. On this road, Qin Yu either teased Hinata, or took the opportunity to educate his opponents with various eyesight. Of course, this kind of education is not ordinary education, it is the spanking education that Qin Yu is best at. However, what is strange is that after Qin Yu was treated so specially, Teju had a good impression on him. I don't know if this is Qin Yu's plan, or if the Temari people have changed. In this way, the three began to feel life in harmony. As for saying that there will be no other ninjas on the road, none of them have been encountered. As for the reason, Qin Yu is to be blamed. Qin Yu only told Gaara and Kankuro to change Teju with scrolls, but didn't say how much. This caused the two people to be crazy, and when they saw a ninja squad, they went up to grab the scroll. Fearing that the number of scrolls was not enough, Qin Yu refused to release Temari, and the two of them tried their best to grab the scrolls. Except for the people who Qin Yu specifically pointed out, almost all of them were bad guys. Of course, Qin Yu didn't know this at present. In a blink of an eye, it was the 5th day. At the end of the Death Forest, there is an open plain, and there is an attic on the plain. As soon as Qin Yu walked through the Death Forest, he saw Kanjiro and Gaara with bloodshot eyes and messy bodies. Qin Yu was taken aback by the two of them, what was going on? How did it become like this? Temari was also taken aback by these two men. Release. Gaara threw all the collected heaven and earth scrolls to Qin Yu. In addition to a copy of his team, Kanjiro also threw all the other scrolls to Qin Yu. It's a fruitful harvest, it's really hard work. Qin Yu received the scroll happily, and pulled the Temari beside him. No, this is your reward. Kankuro hurried forward and pulled his hand over. For fear of being caught by Qin Yu again and threatening them. When Temari was pulled away by Kanjiro, he also glanced at Qin Yu. And Hinata was also pulled away by Toa and Shina, who was waiting. The good name is that it is not a small team, it will be an opponent later, you can't surrender to the enemy. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, and just like that, the second exam is over. Advertisement. After the exam, there were still 20 players who passed. Because the number of players was too large, the third game directly opened the method of fighting elimination. The remaining 20 players will fight one-on-one. The winner continues to fight, the loser exits directly, and the ultimate winner is the champion. And when the challenge is about to begin, the pharmacist pocket in the player is also as written in the original book. I was afraid that I could not control my own power and thus exposed my identity, so I chose to take the initiative to withdraw. After all, he had a plan to come to Konoha, not really to take the Zongan exam. At this time, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were also awake. Because of Qin Yu, by the way, these three people also directly advanced to participate in the challenge. The game went on normally, and Qin Yu easily entered the top 10. What surprised Qin Yu was that Naruto had also entered the top 10, which is a bit unimaginable. And the first battle of the top 10, Uchiha Sasuke vs. Gaara Sand Waterfall. Qin Yu was originally interested in seeing how Sasuke was beaten by society. As a result, the Dash Pills plan began before it was severely beaten. With a loud bang, the huge psychic beast suddenly penetrated the wall of the competition venue. Fighting began to appear in various places in Konoha, and psychic beasts appeared one after another in 2 other places. All psychic beasts are the same, and begin to destroy as soon as they appear. Hate, you go to evacuate the crowd and rescue the injured ninja. I will lead this psychic beast away first. Kakashi's figure flashed, and he had already arrived in front of the psychic beast giant centipede. Lei Dun Chidori. With the help of the riding wheel opening, the thunder and lightning covered the right hand, and it smashed down at the giant centipede of the psychic beast. Clang. The carapace on the giant centipede is extremely hard. Kakashi's thunder dungeons cannot break open, and can only cause some slight damage to him. Even so, it also angered the giant centipede. Roar. The giant centipede roared for a while, and the centipede was like a sharp sword with steel needles, and it was grabbing and cutting towards Kakashi. With the help of the riding wheel, Kakashi easily escaped the attack of the giant centipede. Gradually, the giant centipede was also taken away. Qin Yu looked at the shattered surroundings, smiled bitterly, and disappeared on the spot. When it reappeared, the gate of the Hyuga family had already appeared. As soon as Qin Yu appeared, a gust of wind blew towards him. It turned out that Wan Snake was fighting with a big toad, and this wave of air was caused by the fighting between these 2 giants. At the gate of the Hyuga family, in addition to the family members of the Hyuga family, there is also a man with long white hair standing. Who are you? Seeing Qin Yu who suddenly appeared, Jilai also cautiously surrounded him. Since you are back, you don't need me here. Qin Yu's figure instantly disappeared in front of Zilai Yi. When he appeared again, he had already come to another part of Konoha. What appeared here was a psychic beast Wind Falcon, and no one could stop this Wind Falcon. Qin Yu looked at the Konoha ninja who could only passively defend himself, and stepped forward. Come back, it's dangerous ahead. One of the ninjas suddenly became anxious when he saw Qin Yu step forward. In his opinion, this Wind Falcon was not something Qin Yu could deal with. However, the fact stunned him. Wind escape a big breakthrough. Qin Yu first used the wind to show against the ground, and with the help of the thrust of the wind, he jumped into the air in an instant. Super Big Jade Spiral Pill. Chapter 29. Reincarnation of Dirty Soil. Advertisement. A big jade spiral pill the same size as the Wind Falcon appeared in Qin Yu's hand. Qin Yu grabbed the big jade spiral pill and directly hit the Wind Falcon in the air. Lee. The Wind Falcon sounded a loud neigh, and then it was completely enveloped by Qin Yu's super big jade helix pill. This scene, although far away, was still seen by Ji Lai from far away. After all, it was in the air, and it was still such a big spiral pill. Who the hell is this? Jilai also looked at the giant spiral pill in the sky with shock in his eyes. Jilai was shocked by nothing else, but this spiral pill. Helix Maru was researched by his apprentice Bo Feng Shuaman, but he died before he became alive. As far as the ninja world is concerned, he knows this ninjutsu. However, what I didn't expect was that this person could also use the spiral pill. And it's still such a powerful spiral pill. Who is this person? Jilai's heart was full of doubts. After being hit by Qin Yu's big jade spiral pill, Feng Falcon was bombarded with dross by the high-speed rotating spiral pill. Only feathers falling from the sky and fleshy pieces of blood falling from the sky are left. After the psychic beast Wind Falcon was bombarded into dregs by Qin Yu with the super big jade spiral pill, the person disappeared in midair. Who was that just now? Do you know each other? Who knows him? After Qin Yu disappeared, the ninjas below began to ask each other about Qin Yu's origin. After asking each other, some people thought of Qin Yu's identity. I remember he seems to be a newcomer taking the Zongan exam this year, Uchiha Qin Yu. Yes, I have seen him. Needless to say after that, it was a tribute to the deeds. And Zilai also took advantage of this gap just now to learn about Qin Yu's identity from the Hyuga family. However, the more he understood, the more curious he became. The top of the Naruto Tower. Teacher. Long time no see. Dashi Maru coldly looked at the 3 generations of Naruto Tobihiro in front of him. Did you come back to Konoha this time to ruin him? Sarutobi Hizen wore a samurai armor and frowned. Although Oshi Maru was his disciple, Sarutobi Hizen still didn't understand him. Teacher, Konoha is over. I have summoned psychic beasts around Konoha for destruction, and no one can stop the destruction of psychic beasts. Dashi Maru sneered, as if his strategy had succeeded. Sarutobi Hizen was furious, and he didn't expect this to happen. The person in front of him is his own disciple. It is the Konoha ninja who should do to protect the village instead of destroying it. Are you really going to do this? Oshimaru. Murderous intent appeared in Sarutobi's eyes. As a disciple of the 2nd generation of Naruto Senshoma, as the 3rd generation of Naruto at the same time. He did not allow Konoha to be hurt, and he did not allow Konoha to have problems. Even if this person is his own disciple, it is equally impossible. Teacher, I have already done this. In order to entertain you, I brought enough sincerity and opportunity. Psychic art. Dashi Wan bit her finger and slapped her palm to the ground suddenly. With a bang, 3 erected white coffins appeared out of thin air. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. On each pair of white coffins, there is also a yellow seal talisman affixed to it. Advertisement. Looking at these 3 coffins, Sarutobi Risen felt a little uneasy in his heart. It seems that there is something amazing in these 3 coffins. Teacher, I have worked hard to get this, just to surprise you. Dashi Wan looked at the 3 coffins feverishly, as if there were something wonderful inside. Sarutobi Hizen looked at Oshimaru, his brows frowned tighter. The anxiety in my heart became more and more obvious. What is this? Sarutobi Hizen finally couldn't help but ask. Dashi Wan stroked the coffin and said softly, this is the supreme pursuit of Shu. Dashi Maru suddenly turned his head, and stared at Sarutobi Hazaki closely. Do you believe that the dead can survive? When Sarutobi heard this, his pupils suddenly tightened. What do you mean? There was an answer faintly in his heart, but Sarutobi Hazaki refused to believe it. I know you should have the answer in your heart, if so, then I will open this coffin and show it to you. Oshimaru flew with both hands and completed a very complicated handprint in an instant. Reincarnated from the dirty soil. The seal fell and nothing happened. However, Sarutobi Risen was directly shocked by the seal just now. You actually used the dirty earth to reincarnate, then inside. The crisis was controlled in Sarutobi's heart, and his entire mind was filled with anger. Boom. The 2 white coffins began to tremble, and the coffin lid slid slightly along with the tremor. With a grunt, Sarutobi Richin swallowed nervously and stared at the coffin closely. With a boom, the coffin cover suddenly flew out. The lid of the coffin flew away, revealing 2 figures inside the coffin. Sarutobi Hizen was completely stunned. Wearing a red samurai costume and embroidered with the Senju clan's logo, the first generation of Hokage, Senju Zuma. The second generation Hokage in a black tight-fitting combat uniform with silver hair and red eyes, 3 red marks on his cheeks, Sensho Kenma. Sarutobi Hizen was finally moved. Oshimaru, how do you do such a thing? Sarutobi Hizen pointed at Oshimaru angrily, the anger in his heart was already anger to the extreme. Teacher, don't worry, the good show will start now. Boom. In the coffin, Shinsho Zuma and Shinshojian suddenly opened their eyes, and a huge wave of air suddenly stirred. The coffin couldn't withstand the turbulent force, and it exploded to pieces with a bang. Where is this? Sensho Zuma looked around curiously, puzzled. Brother fool, this is Konoha. Thousands of hands saw Hokage rock and the 3-generation Naruto Tobihijin at once. Monkey, you called us from the Pure Land. Shinshojian's eyes were full of doubts. How could Sarutobi Hizen suddenly use a forbidden technique to summon us? Excuse me, I'm sorry to disturb you. Oshimaru's voice rang in a timely manner, attracting the eyes of Senju Zuma and Senjuma. 2 Konoha's first and second generation Hokage, I brought them back to life. Dashi Maru watched his results fiercely and was very excited. You resurrected us. Shinsho frowned. What's going on, monkey? Shinshojian turned his head to look at Sarutobi Rishi, obviously he wants to know the whole story now. Even Senjujuma is the same. However, he was not like Sensho Kenma, but curiously wanted to know Konoha's current situation. Chapter 30. The Battle Between Naruto. Advertisement. Let me explain to both of you. Oshimaru looked at Shinsho Janma and said, I want to destroy Konoha, so I can use the dirty soil to reincarnate to summon the 2 from the Pure Land to help me. Nani? Shinsho Janjian looked shocked. Nani? Even Senju Zuzuma, who had no interest at all, was shocked. What kind of situation is this? Is it necessary to experience such a great thing after living? Monkey, is what he said true? Shinshojian didn't believe it, and looked at Sarutobi Hizen closely. Sorry teacher, I will never let his conspiracy succeed. Sarutobi Hizen was speechless, but the anger in his heart never weakened. Thousands of hands pointed at Sarutobi Hizen. I told you before, don't study these forbidden techniques, you just won't listen, it's all right now. Sensho Zuma sighed helplessly. How would I know that my forbidden technique would be obtained by such a person? Shinsho Janjian was also impatient, and forcibly denied his mistake. However, it is not impossible to save it now. With a swish, Shinsho Zhao had already held Kuwu Sting towards Dashawan. As for the forbidden technique he had studied, he knew very well what weaknesses there were. And the weakness of this filthy reincarnation is the operator. As long as the caster dies, the reincarnation of the filthy soil will be lifted. When Shinshojian's Kuma was about to stab the Oshimaru, he suddenly stopped. Damn it! Shinshojian frowned. Master Hokage, since I can perform this forbidden technique, then I naturally also know the weakness of this forbidden technique. Do you think I will be defenseless? As soon as the Oshimaru's thoughts moved, the body of Shinsho Janma and the body of Shinsho Zuma began to be out of control. The 2 turned to Sarutobi Hizen, ready to attack. Sarutobi Hitoshi's whole body was stretched. The 2 people in front of them are extremely powerful, can they cope with them? Monkey, do your best, we have been controlled by that guy, be careful. Although Shinsho Janma controlled his body, he was not controlled to speak. Psychic art. Sarutobi slashed the ground, and the psychic produced a strong monkey. Ape demon, prepare to fight. As soon as the monkey demon appeared, he saw the first and second generations, and his whole person was stretched. Obviously he did not expect that his upcoming opponent would be these two people. With a bang, the monkey demonized into a thick stick. Sarutobi Hitoshi squeezed the stick and started to attack first. Senju Zuma and Senjusuma also slashed towards Sarutobi. On the other hand, the old god was watching and admiring the battle in front of him. Sarutobi Risen brandished the Saruma, and the volley hit it with a stick. There was no one in 1,000 hands, and he held up the club. At this moment, Shishozuma had already waved his fist and moved towards the head of Sarutobi Haruchi. Sarutobi Hitoshi twisted his body and forced Sarumo to run across. With a bang, the fist between Shinshuju hit the stick of Saru Demon's transformation. With this strength, Sarutobi Risen took the opportunity to fly back. Fire Escape Phoenix Immortal Fire Art. Sarutobi Risen spouted fireballs continuously, and the fireballs formed into an impatience flower, and flew toward the pillars and the door. The impatience formed by the hot fireball exudes amazing destructive power. Water Escape Water Dragon Bomb. With a wave of 1,000 hands, the huge water dragon appeared out of thin air and slammed into the phoenix fire. Water can overcome fire. Coupled with the title of the god of water escape in thousands of hands, his water escape is not so powerful. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The water dragon instantly wiped out the phoenix fire of Sarutobi Risen, and then rushed towards Sarutobi Risen. Advertisement. Tuden. Tuliubi. The ground rolled, and a thick soil wall rose up, cutting Sarutobi high to protect his back. Mu Dun Bondage. Bang. A series of wooden sticks sprang out from under the ground, and went towards Sarutobi Hitazan. Bang. Sarutobi Risen had no time to evade, so he could only greet the Sarutobi with a waving. The sawdust fluttered, and Sarutobi Rizanwu escaped from the encirclement with the Saru demon. At this moment, a figure appeared out of thin air in front of Sarutobi Hizen. That was the second generation of Hokage thousands of hands, and this suddenly appeared, apparently using the flying thunder god just now. With a sound of heng, Sarutobi Risen's ape demon blocked the kunai in thousands of hands. However, a wooden fist behind him has already arrived. With a bang, Sarutobi Risen was hit hard in the back by the wooden fist. Sarutobi Risen was drawn into the air, thousands of hands once again used flying thunder god, and he had already come to Sarutobi Risen. With a puff, the kunai in the thousand-handed hand stabbed Sarutobi Risen. It just so happened that Sarutobi Hitoshi had time to react, and only the shoulder was stabbed. With the help of the opportunity and strength of being stabbed in the door, Sarutobi Rishi fell to the ground very quickly. Shadow Clone Technique. After landing, he is the Shadow Clone in a hurry. The Sarutobi automatically hovered behind Sarutobi Rishan, and the 5 Sarutobi Rishan appeared like 2 Hokage. Fire Escape Howlongwo. Water Escape Water Dragon Bomb. Wind Escape Air Strangulation. Lei Dun Go. Earth Dun Earth Dragon. 5 Shadow Avatars, each representing a kind of ninjutsu. 5 types of ninjutsu emanated from the 5 people, rushing towards Senjujutsu and Senjutsu with great momentum. Mu Dun Wooden Ingot Wall. A row of wooden pillars bends from the ground to protect themselves in front of Senjuzuzu and Fojian. Bang! Explosions sounded one after another, and Mu Dun defense was being bombarded by 5 types of ninjutsu. But he stubbornly resisted heavy attacks. When the impact of the explosion stopped, Mu Dun's defenses turned into debris and fell. Monkey, it seems that you have grown a lot over the years. With a move of thousands of hands, Fei Lei Shen came to the side of Sarutobi Hizen. While encouraging, he did not stop the attack. The sun slash is useless, it can't reach the teacher's height, and there is no way to collect Konoha. Sarutobi Hizen was very ashamed. After all, he hadn't kept Konoha well. Konoha's future, you can't be alone. You don't have to blame yourself so much. With a move between the pillars, the killer Sarutobi Rizwan scurried with his head. Sun slash, be careful. Lei Dun Rotary Cut Kill. The thunder and lightning envelops kunai and transforms into a high-speed rotating thunder and lightning dart. Thousands of hands pinched the thunder and lightning dart, and threw it toward the sun. With a puff, the thunder dart came to the side of Sarutobi Risen at a fast speed, and instantly cut off his left arm. The left arm was chopped off, and Sarutobi Hitoshi's body lost its balance. Another Mudden ninjutsu between the Senjujutsu blasted up and hit Sarutobi's chest. Pouch! Sarutobi Hizen spit out a mouthful of blood in the air. At this moment, a figure suddenly appeared in the air, reaching out and grabbing Sarutobi Hizen.